CTV and QCTV Sports presents Collegiate Women's Hockey. Tonight from the Roseville Skating Center, it's the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game featuring the third-ranked Minnesota Gophers taking on St. Cloud State. Hi, everybody. I'm Dale Irving. Welcome to the pregame show, and welcome to those watching across the Metro Cable Sports Network and to those watching online at ctvnorthsuburbs.org. Joining me tonight, a couple of ex-Gophers here to help us with the matchup. Katie Frischman to my immediate right, first of all, played both forward and defense for the Gophers between 2009 and 2013, winning 2 national titles and a part of that 2013 undefeated team. To my far right, Megan Lawrence. She was a forward for the Gophers from 2011 to 2015, including winning 2 national, actually playing in 4 championships, winning 3 titles. So between the 3 of us, we got, what, 5 titles? That's pretty. You going to share some titles with me? All right. Megan, I'll start with you. You played in this game a year ago at Braemar and Edina. You guys won 5-0. What was the experience like bringing Division I hockey kind of back into the community?
Right. It was just a great atmosphere overall, having it at Braemar. It got pretty packed in there, and just bringing us back to our old high school memories. It was great. Good atmosphere.
And I know they're expecting a packed house tonight, and of course for Lee Steckline and I believe Hannah Broad on the other side, this is where they grew up playing. Katie, from a player's perspective, with a packed house, I mean, how excited are they to kind of come back and play in this environment?
They're super excited. Playing in a packed house is one of the most exciting things, whether it's, you get a goal and the crowd erupts, or you get a goal and the crowd is silent. It adds a whole nother atmosphere to the game, and it's a lot of fun. We played one time in front of 10,000 fans in Wisconsin, and it was one of the most unreal things just to hear that constant noise, and they're really excited to experience that.
Nice. Well, the Gophers come in 15-3 overall, 11-3 in the WCHA, good for second in the conference. But first of all, let's start with the Huskies. Huskies are 8-2 overall, 4-8-2 in the conference. Now they've already matched their total win total from a year ago. So second-year coach Eric Roop kind of has them going in the right direction. They just also had a 7-game unbeaten streak snapped against UMD. So let's talk about some of the players that are leading the way. Leading them in scoring is Molly Illikainen. She comes in with 22 points, 12 goals, 10 assists. She looks to be the one to stop for St. Cloud.
Yeah, Molly Ilkinen, she's a big, strong, powerful forward that they have up front, and she's definitely the key to the St. Cloud team here tonight.
From Grand Rapids, she transferred from Providence after a couple of years. She led the Huskies in scoring a year ago, so she certainly has a lot of athletics in the family, as well as her brother is a freshman at Wisconsin playing basketball. On that same line is Julia Tilke, who's second in scoring, 13 points.
Yeah, especially having those 2 on a line, that ends up being a super dangerous line when you have, the leading point scorer and the second point scorer all together, and they're definitely going to be dangerous whenever they're out there. The Gophers are going to have to pay attention and make sure they don't end up with the puck in front of the net.
She's scored 11 points in the last 8 games and just a freshman, so an up-and-comer for the Huskies. Back on defense, they have Brittany Anderson. She's also tied with Julia with 13 points out of Hill Murray, and I believe she's a sophomore. So again, another young player for the Huskies.
Yeah, she. The other 2 are a forward, but she's a defense, so she had some skill back there on the defense side, and she just brings a lot to the blue line back there.
Team high 11 assists, second on the team with 54 block shots. I believe she played a year with Hannah back at Hill Murray, so those 2 know each other pretty well. Back in the net is Katie Fitzgerald, senior goaltender. She was a Defensive Player of the Month for November during that 7-game unbeaten stretch. So she got hot and has been hot lately as well.
Yeah, I believe she has about a 90.8% save percentage there, so that's pretty good. And she was a huge part in that 6-game win streak they had that unfortunately just ended for them this last weekend. But very solid for them back there, and it'll be hard to get the puck past her.
She started 17 of the 18 games this year, and as a senior from Illinois. So let's talk about Minnesota now. 11-3 in the conference, 15-3 overall. Now they're coming off, one of the biggest series of the year so far against Wisconsin, where they unfortunately dropped both games. So I'm sure it's the first time I think they've lost 2 games in a row since 2010 and 11. So it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a while. I think there was a lot of talk going around this past week about, when was the last time the Gophers got swept, and, it doesn't happen very often. I think, fortunately for them, they have this chance to come out tonight and, end the first half on a pretty good note, and instead of ending on, the first sweep in 5 years or whatever that's been. So, that's a good part for them, but I know Frosty had said this, the last weekend didn't define them as a team, but if they don't learn from it, that'll be, a shame. And so they have that opportunity this past week and tonight to show that, that isn't who they are.
Yeah, they dropped that first game in overtime, kind of a heartbreaker, and then lost game 2, 3-1. We have comments from Brad Frost. He talks about the series at Wisconsin, and we'll hear what he has to say.
Well, a heck of a hockey game here tonight with two real good teams, and certainly not the outcome that we wanted, but I thought our kids played their guts out tonight, and I'm really proud of their effort. They get a bounce at the end and win a hockey game, and sometimes that's just how things go, but really couldn't have asked for much more from our kids, and we're looking forward to another good matchup tomorrow and seeing if we can come away with 3 points on the road. Well, it was a good third period for us tonight. A little disappointed that we lost our composure a little bit there, and in the first couple periods worrying about other things that are outside of our control, and instead we got to focus on what we have in the room. And I thought in the third period there in particular, the team really figured that out, came together, and really made a great game of it. We were kind of dead and buried there after 2 periods with the way we were playing, but to pick it up there in the third and get that one, and really have some great chances down the stretch. I mean, our goaltender made some incredible saves. Again, hit a couple more pipes, and that was the difference. But it's something, as I told our team, it doesn't define us and who we are this weekend, but if we don't learn from it, then that's going to be a shame. So we're going to take a lot out of this weekend, playing the top team in the country, and try and have a good weekend next weekend, and then get focused and ready for the second half.
All right, so to your point, Katie, time now to move forward here tonight. Let's talk about some of the Gophers that are leading the way for them this year. And we start with Hannah Brandt, who is now the Gophers' career leader in points. What can we say about Hannah?
What can't you say about Hannah? Unreal player on the ice, unreal person off the ice. Obviously, having a very successful season this year, 19 goals, 19 assists. And as you said, taking over that leading points in Gopher history, and that's a pretty big accomplishment with so much of the season remaining.
Right, to your point, it says a lot with all of the great players that have come through this program that she's now number one. So, Danny Cameronese, also on that same line as a junior. What is she bringing to this team?
Yeah, she's just a strong, powerful forward. She brings a lot of speed to that line, and she creates a lot of offense for them, just digging in corners for battles, and the whole line sees a lot. Well, and she has 18 goals and 21 assists so far this season, which, speaks a lot for her.
Now, the freshman forward, I don't know if it's been a surprise, but it's been a nice surprise that she's kind of stepped in. Sarah Potomac, 34 points on the air. What kind of a player is she?
Yeah, I think she was, one of the high-profile players coming in. She'd been with Hockey Canada stuff, so she was, expected to be a strong player, but it's always, still nice to see someone come in and adapt to that college speed of play so fast. And so she came right in, and it has been, a major impact on the ice with, 8 goals, 26 assists, so huge, assister for the team, and it's big.
So it's clear that the Gophers have no trouble scoring points. I think they lead the nation in like five goals a game. But as you guys know, you've won 5 national titles. It takes defense and goaltending to also win a championship. So for the Gophers, let's start with the blue line. Now you play some defense with the Gophers. We've got 4 defensemen here. How do these guys stack up, and what do they bring to the table?
Yeah, I think they each bring their own, specific thing to the defensive team. You have, Lee and Melitza, who are a little taller, and Lee's stick is always misleadingly long, and you think you're going to get past her, and then her stick is there, and you can't. Melitza, awesome shot. And Megan and Sydney's really good offensively, and they all bring something special offensively and defensively. They're just solid as a group, and it's good to see them really cooking.
Well, I mentioned that Melissa became the 6th Gopher defenseman in U history to surpass 100 points, so that's a good accomplishment for her as well. So back in the net, we have Amanda Levier as a senior, 11 wins, 1.74 goals against. Tell us about Amanda.
Her freshman year, she was second goalie behind Nora, and so I think that she just learned a lot from her, but ever since her sophomore year, she's been the stud in net, and she's been the go-to for the Gophers. So if she's on her game, I think the Gophers will be hard to beat tonight.
All right, well, let's talk about the series with St. Cloud State. When I saw the numbers, I couldn't believe them, but 69-3-2 overall, Minnesota is over St. Cloud. That's impressive.
That's a pretty
domination.
pretty
That's
lopsided
domination.
record.
Certainly St. Cloud has will want to do something about that tonight. Gophers have won the last 27 times these two teams have played. Most recently, a 7-0 and 11-0 shutout back in October, where 12 Gophers recorded points in that series. Because of the proximity and how close, is this rivalry, is it as intense as you might think it would be, or is it because it's been so lopsided that maybe it hasn't?
I think anytime you play a team in state, or even just any WCHA team for that matter, all the rivalries are there, especially being from Minnesota for both me and Megan. You've played against and with a lot of these girls on these other teams, so that increases the rivalry as well. But I do think because it has been so lopsided, that maybe has kind of watered it down just a little bit.
Sure.
Maybe on both ends. But still, when you're playing against people you've known since you were 5, it's always going to be a big rivalry game.
All right, well, we have some highlights from the last time these two teams did play back in early October, so we'll roll those highlights.
Back from Potomac at the dot. Potomac across. Shipper there with a wide open goal. Now Wolf gets it in front. They score! It's Danny Cameronese knocking it in for Minnesota. Shipper for Minnesota got her on player, cutting to the front of the net, slides it across, and scoring is Melissa McMillan for Minnesota. Minnesota has started the season with their 3rd consecutive shutout.
All right, so there's a look at the last time these two teams played. Again, very lopsided. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's talk about the conference standings. So right now, the Gophers sitting in that 2 slot after the sweep to Wisconsin that we mentioned. The one number that really sticks out to me here is that Wisconsin goals against. They've only given up 5 goals in their 12 conference games. So clearly defense is a strong point for Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin's always very solid defensively, and even like when we're playing them last year, it's always good to get a goal on them early, but if you don't, then it's kind of hard to get it later in the game. So yeah, that stat is incredible. No goals against.
We look again back at the standings. So in 3rd place, Bemidji State, kind of a a quiet team with 10-5-1. They are actually in the national poll as well, so they're having a nice season. Followed by North Dakota, and then you see St. Cloud in that 5 slot. 4-8-2, 8-8-2 overall, but much improved St. Cloud is over last year. And then Minnesota Duluth, Ohio State, and then Minnesota State Mankato struggling there at the bottom. So that takes care of the WCHA standings. As we head to the national poll, of course, Wisconsin right now, they sit on top as they are perfect 18-0. And then Boston College, also undefeated. What do we know about them?
I don't know a whole lot, to be completely honest, as far as who they've played. But anytime you can go undefeated in the first half, it's pretty impressive. And, they clearly have a good squad out there. And they've been, in that top 5 pretty consistently over the last, probably 5+ years. But, it's really good to see those East Coast teams getting in there and, kind of consistently having that top couple of spots.
So there you see Bemidji State at 5, Northeastern at 6, Clarkson, Harvard, North Dakota in 9, and then Princeton number 10. Is there kind of an East-West rivalry going on between the schools on the East and the West?
Yeah, definitely. There always is. They always think their league's better than WCHA, so it kind of just goes back and forth with that. But I think it's pretty impressive having 4 WCHA teams out of the 8 in the top standings here in the national polling. So, it's definitely going back and forth, but at the end of the season, that's all that really matters, to prove yourself.
That's right. Let's take a look at the scoring leaders of the WCHA. Of course, the Gophers have 3 at the very top, Cameron-Easy, Brent, and Potomac. So they, again, have no trouble scoring points here in Minnesota. Pankowski, number in the 4 slot, and then a couple more Minnesotan players, Panic and Piazza. So the Gophers, again, lighting the lamp quite a bit in the WCHA play.
Yeah, it's super impressive. If you look at that, you have, Kelly Panic tied for 4th. So, one could argue they have, 4 in the top 4. You got Kara Piazza at 6. I saw Melitza down there. So it's, really impressive to have that many scores in the top 10 up there. So it's nice to see.
Of course, Illikainen from St. Cloud coming in at number 9. So as you look across the country, the national scoring leaders, Alex Carpenter. So we talk about Boston College, and what do we know about them? It looks like Carpenter is kind of leading the way, 45 points already for her, 23 goals, 22 assists, just 6 points ahead of Danny and then the rest of the Minnesota contingency. Have you guys played against some of these players? Kendall Coyne, Skarupa?
Yeah, I think Alex Carpenter was a freshman, I believe, when I was a senior, so Megan has probably played with them more than I have. Kendall Coyne, I think she came in as I was leaving, if I remember correctly, but she might have been a freshman as well. But she's obviously, Team USA, so it's been fun to watch her kind of grow up from playing with the Chicago Mission. I played against her in high school, so it's been interesting to watch her kind of grow and continue to be a dominant player at, any level she's playing at.
All right, so we move over to the goalie. We'll go to the WCHA goalie leaders, and from Wisconsin again, we've already talked about her incredible .45. Wisconsin looks like they'll be a tough team to beat, especially if she's on her game. Moat from Bemidji State, and Levier number 4. Rooney Fitzgerald there in the 6th slot. And then for the Division I goalie leaders, you kind of see where it stacks up again at the very top. It's Anne Renee. She will be, right now she's the top goalie in the country.
Yeah, anytime you let, nine goals against in 18 games,
yeah,
you likely will be ranked number 1, and rightfully so. That's really impressive. A .45 goals against average is, almost unheard of. That's unreal.
So now as you guys kind of reflect back, now you've been away from the Gophers for a couple of years. Megan, this is your first year out. What are the best memories or the top memory that you as you look back, that you had playing in the maroon and gold?
I guess for me, I'd give the classic answer of that national championship my senior year. I was actually just reflecting on it the other day with a friend, and just all the emotions of that day, of knowing it's going to be your last game, and seeing your parents before the game, but all the excitement, and then the relief of winning that game. Weirdly enough, keeping that record and not going 40-1 for the season. And then obviously the memories after with the team, but just an unreal day and kind of indescribable, and the best way to cap off a hockey career that you can ever ask for. So I have to go with that one.
Now, Megan, of course, you played in 4 championship games, winning 3, so you can't just say winning the championship because it became old hat to you. But I would imagine scoring that goal last year was pretty big.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting against Harvard, just to go up by 2 goals there at the end of the game. That was probably my biggest goal of my career, so that was pretty exciting. But another memory that sticks back is the Hockey City Classic game where it was at TCF Outdoors. That game, I don't know, it's a classic game. It just sticks out in my mind, just thinking back of how cool that atmosphere was, bringing the game back outside, like how it started. It was pretty special.
Great. Well, Katie, Megan, thanks for joining us on the pregame. Katie, you're going to run up to the broadcast booth and work with Jerry tonight. Speaking of national championships, we're going to watch some video of last year's championship win over Harvard. So stay tuned. College hockey is coming up next with Jerry and Katie here on CTV and QCTV Sports.
The 2015 Women's Frozen Four Championship game. Harvard, the number 3 seed, taking on Minnesota, the top seed in the tournament, from Ritter Arena here in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
For Bonham. 1 minute to go here in the first period. Cameron Easy. Back for Wolf. Wolf trying to chip it low. It's kicked to the line by the Crimson. Wolf holds it in as she skates to the wall. Now at the dot, fires. Score! Megan Wolf scoring for Minnesota. Now here's a steal by Brandt. Off for Menifee on the left. Menifee has Brandt down the middle. Gets her the puck. Brandt scores! Hannah Brandt scores for Minnesota.
Taken away by Kelly Panic. Panic, ooh, just ahead for Lawrence, and Megan Lawrence with the goal.
1:50 to go, and an empty net. Here's Rachel Bonham putting one in for the Golden Gophers. In the middle, Ramsey will blast that one, knocked down, and for the 6th time in school history, the Golden Gophers are NCAA champions of women's ice hockey.
Well, this should be a very entertaining game tonight for the second go-around of the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Face-Off Classic. Last year's was at Braemar Arena, where the Gophers beat St. Cloud State 5-0. In that game, Amanda Levier had a shutout, and Kelly Panic with a hat trick to lead the way for the Gophers. Again, this game does not count in the conference standings, as there you see Goldie Gopher and Teresa Renicky, Shannon Hunter, among many others. As this is technically an exhibition game, but it's still a big one nonetheless, especially for St. Cloud, considering they have not beaten the Gophers in 27 straight games. So, Katie, what do you look for in tonight's matchup? Again, the Gophers winning the first 2 games of this series, 11-0 and 5-0. And again, St. Cloud, a lot of Minnesota players on the team. You sure think that they'd like to try and break that streak sometime in the very near future, 27 in a row.
Yeah, I think tonight, St. Cloud's going to come out hard. Like you said, they want to break that, 27-game streak against the U here, and, hopefully break that tonight. And then I think the Gophers are also going to come out hard. They're coming off that sweep, unfortunate sweep against Wisconsin. So, they're going to come out and they're going to want to end this first half on a win versus ending on that sweep. So, I'm sure they got talked to quite a bit at practice this week, and they'll come out hard. So I think, both teams will be coming out flying.
Yeah. Also this weekend, you've got Wisconsin and North Dakota, the 2 teams that have beaten the Gophers so far this year. And they're playing each other in a 2-game series, and that should be a really good one.
Yeah, I think, North Dakota has a really good chance of, breaking Wisconsin's unbeaten streak this first half. They have just as good a chance as anyone else, and it's always a good game, especially when you go up there. So that'll be another good game to keep an eye on, a couple of good games to keep an eye on this weekend.
Right. And then, of course, tomorrow, a game that's going to be nationally televised both on the East Coast and here in the Twin Cities. You've got your Minnesota Whitecaps team with a ton of former Gophers on it against the Boston Pride from the Professional Women's League, and Gigi Marvin on that team. That ought to be a great contest as well.
Yeah, I think it's huge that, a professional game is getting hosted in Minnesota here, and that'll be a lot of fun to play in. But yeah, like you said, that Boston Pride team is stacked with, Hillary Knight, I think Brianna Decker, and DG Marvin, like you said. And so that'll be a really tough team to beat coming in. And, we do have Annie Schlepper and both the Lamoureux sisters. So we have a couple good players as well. But unfortunately, they aren't able to practice with us as they're all training elsewhere. But it'll be a good series to watch.
Matchup as we welcome the St. Cloud State University Huskies taking on the defending national champion, University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Introducing our starting lineups first for St. Cloud State. Starting in goal is a senior from Des Plaines, Illinois, number 35, Katie Fitzgerald. On defense, a senior from Hugo, Minnesota, number 15, Alexi Slattery. On defense, a sophomore from Hudson, Wisconsin, number 7, Brittany Anderson. At left wing, a senior from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, number 12, Molly Illikainen. At right wing, a freshman from Delafield, Wisconsin, number 2, Julia Tilkey. And starting at center is a senior from Roseville, Minnesota, number 5, Hannah Brote. Husky coaching staff, assistant coaches are Steve McDonald and Janelle Sergey, and the head coach of the St. Cloud State University Huskies is Eric Rude. And now, fans, let's introduce tonight's starting lineup for the 6-time defending national champions, University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Starting in goal, the senior from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, number 29, Amanda Levier. On defense, a junior from Eagan, Minnesota, number 12, Megan Wolf. On defense, a junior from Roseville, Minnesota, number 2, Lee Stecklein. At left wing, a freshman from Aldergrove, British Columbia, Canada, number 26, Sarah Potomac. At right wing, a junior from Plymouth, Minnesota, in the Blake School, number 21, Danny Cambronese. And starting at center, a senior from Vadnais Heights, Minnesota, and Hill Murray High, number 22, Hannah Brandt. The Golden Gopher coaching staff, associate head coach is Joel Johnson, assistant coach to Dean Musserow, goaltender coach is Andy Kent, and the head coach of the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, Brad Frost. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps and join in the singing of our national anthem that is performed by the University of Minnesota Pep Band. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please direct your attention to center ice. Everyone, please rise and welcome the Roseville Women's Hockey Race. At this time, we welcome St. Cloud State's first ever women's head hockey coach, Carrie Brooke Wellington. a former and decorated Golden Gopher, Rhonda Curtin Engelhardt. A recent Golden Gopher and a current student at the University of Minnesota, Kate Flugg. And last but not least, 3 current players for your Minnesota Whitecaps and former Golden Gophers, Winnie Brote-Brown, Chelsea Brote-Rosenthal, and Bethany Browsen. And at this time, we ask that the team captains please come to center ice. We're looking for Hannah Brote, Roseville native for St. Cloud State, and Lee Steckline from the Golden Gophers, also another Roseville native. And now, ladies, when you're ready, let's drop the puck.
Well, I know all those ladies very well. Carrie and I went to high school together and had the pleasure of announcing all of their hockey games in the span of 1996 up through today. So it's great to see the Hall of Fame game here at Roseville Arena. Last year it was at Braemar, and considering you've got 3 former Raiders here in the game tonight, makes a lot of sense, and should be a great evening.
Yeah, it's fun to see, you know, like you said, the history of it, announcing all the way back with Carrie, and then to, you know, recent Roseville grads like Lee and Bethany and that. So it's fun to see the history, and yeah, good to be back here where there is so much, you know, hockey history in this building.
Starting in the nets for St. Cloud State will be Katie Fitzgerald. St. Cloud had been on a 6-game winning streak. I know Lindenwood was one of the doubleheaders that they swept. And also, I think, last weekend they had a tie and a loss to Minnesota Duluth. But her numbers on the year are very solid: 7-8-2, 2.8 goals against average, save percentage just shy of 91%. And of course, starting for the Gophers, Amanda Levier, 11-3 on the year, 1.74 goals against, and a 91% save percentage. 2 excellent goalies. A little bit later on, we can talk a bit about Bemidji State and Wisconsin. Their goaltending has been unbelievable.
Yeah, especially Wisconsin. I think she's got a .45 goals against average, and that's unreal. But, you know, like you said, Katie Fitzgerald over there, she's been huge for them in that 6-game win streak. And like you said, they swept Lindenwood and Mankato and also Ohio State. And those are some, you know, tough teams to sweep. I know Mankato's not having the kind of year they'd want to have, but Ohio's been doing great. And, you know, she was a big part in those sweeps.
Gophers in their home gold and maroon as we have a quick offsides. And St. Cloud in very nice red jerseys. Again, Hannah Brandt earlier on this season eclipsed Natalie Darwitz's points record for the Gophers. I think she's currently, is it 4th all-time in the NCAA?
I am not sure all-time. I know she's, you know, the active leading scorer for active players right now in the NCAA.
Right.
So.
In the Gopher zone, there is Captain Lee Steckline. Quickly over to Megan Wolf, and that's broken up in the neutral zone. Nice play there by Julia Tilke, and back into the Gopher end. Steckline behind the net, over to Wolf. As they try and trade places. Good play there by Molly Ilikainen, one of the leading scorers for the Huskies, as she forces the turnover. Stillwater. You have to forgive me, these jerseys are very close to Stillwater's. Alex Mackrick going D to D for the Huskies. And now this will go back into the corner. Steckline trying to fight off a couple of St. Cloud players. And now over for Panic behind the net. Very nice little flip pass there, connects with Shipper. And into the Husky zone. It's played there by Carolyn Markstrom.
Good control here early by St. Cloud, getting it deep, causing a couple turnovers there. That's, you know, good momentum for St. Cloud to get going with right away.
Right. With it there is Kelly Panic. She had a hat trick, or excuse me, 2 goals and an assist in the 7-0 win over the Huskies. in the corner. Good work there by Cara Piazza. And behind the net again for Panic. Panic looking to center, maybe getting it to Sydney Baldwin. There's a chance from the circle. Piazza, pad save, rebound, and it's covered up there. Nice job by the two defenders, as I think they might have slid it back underneath Fitzgerald's pads.
Yeah, it kind of, like you said, looked like it got behind her, and but the defense are there, and that's kind of what you need. Like, they had that 6-game win streak, and defense working together with the D and the goalie, and if it does squeak through, she knows she has the D have her back to get that puck, and they know she has their back.
Again, as part of this women's hockey weekend, tomorrow Cretin will travel here to play Roseville at 3 o'clock. Cretin's outstanding goalie for a few seasons, Emma May, is the third stringer for the Gophers this year. With it for the Gophers there was Caitlin Riley, as she gets it back again and goes behind the net. Good pass back to Riley. Nice little pressure put on there by Hannah Patrikas, and into the St. Cloud zone as the Gophers make a partial line change. Good work behind the net there by Williamson, the 2015 Miss Hockey, as this comes over to the near boards, where it's played there by Brooke Garzone. And the Huskies taking it out. That's Patrikas again. And then the captain, Vanessa Spataro, into the Gopher zone and quickly back out. Here is the outstanding freshman, Sarah Potomac, with some excellent moves into the zone. Centering pass, and that goes just by Cameron Easy. From the point, good shot put on, and Fitzpatrick with the save. The skill of Potomac as a freshman is really impressive, Katie.
Yeah, I think she has 26 plus assists, and to be able to set up your line mates like that on a regular basis is awesome, and it's great to see her clicking with her line mates even right away, coming in right away as a freshman. You knew she was going to be good. She was with Hockey Canada, but to see her come in and click right away is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Along the far boards, that's Ilikainen into the zone. That shot goes just wide in the net. She keeps it in the Gopher zone. Levier makes a play and sends it behind the net. With it there for the Gophers is Kelsey Klein. That flip pass is a little too far. Icing is waved off. Good work, though, by Cameron Easy coming in from behind. She gets it to Potomac. Now along the goal line, trying to send it back down there was Cameron Easy again. Good centering pass, and sending it back down was Klein. I'm a little surprised she didn't take a shot there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised too. She came in and was in that good slot, but she might have been turned a little bit too much to the corner to get a really good angle shot off that.
Klein will send it back in cross ice again. A smart move as the Gophers will change on the go. Behind the net for the Huskies, that's Krista Moody, a junior defender. Melitza McMillan in the neutral zone, sending it forward. Here's Panic. Panic sends it further down for Shipper, and that was broken up. McMillan is taking it there as Lauren Hespenhyde. Hyde into the Gopher zone, and over there was Olakainen, and now back out to the point. Little wrist shot, bounces in, a dangerous one, as Hespenhyde in front of the net might have gotten a piece of it. Just under 16 minutes left to go here in a scoreless first period. Nice movement there by Olakainen. Behind the net, McMillan with it again for the Gophers. Melitza played for Breck, where Rhonda Curtin is now the current coach.
Rhonda Curtin and Bethany Browsing, actually.
That's right. I forgot that Bethany was an assistant there. Baldwin into the Husky zone. Sending it down. As with it there is Garzone. Coming in off the bench was Riley on a nice play. And now at the red line, St. Cloud sends it in, and they'll make a line change. Lee Steckline behind the net. On the near side, getting it to Williamson. Now with it is Wolf. Wolf taking it all the way in. Backhand, save, rebound, and covering up in the nick of time is Fitzpatrick again.
Nice follow-up on that from Fitzpatrick, cutting across the middle, and that rebound right there. Wolf tried to get it in, but Fitzpatrick was right there to cover it up.
We'll get another good look at it here. That was a very nice initial pad save.
Yeah, Wolf and Williamson there trying to get that rebound.
So Hannah Brandt and Kelsey Salins in for the face-off here. Back behind the net for the Huskies is former Roseville player Lexi Slattery. along the far boards. The Huskies send it forward. Potomac centering pass, save, and Fitzpatrick will hang on at the side of the net. That was a dangerous rebound, but Fitzgerald able to cover up on that one as well. Quick shot put on that goes right in front of the net. Unable to get a stick on it there was Cameron Easy. Dangerous play coming out of the zone by Anderson, almost results in a turnover. Centering pass for Brandt, that was intercepted. Nice play there by Anderson, as Fitzpatrick has had to work very hard here early in the first, and she wisely covers up there at the side of the net.
Nice save again there by Fitzpatrick, saving the team on that one, and a couple good shots there. But Gophers are really controlling it here in their end, but overall St. Cloud doing a really good job of limiting those scoring chances, as the Gophers have been in their end for quite a bit of this first period here. So good defense on St. Cloud.
Mm-hmm. Panic. Now over along the short boards. That's Brittany Anderson with it. In the neutral zone, taken in there by Piazza. Intercepted. Nice play by Julia Tilke. Tilke, only a freshman, one of the leading scorers for St. Cloud. Back in the corner, trying to come out with it was Baldwin for the Gophers. On the near boards, Illikainen. As now the Gophers take it back over, that's Kate Schipper. Schipper into the zone. Good defensive work there by Carolyn Markstrom. And now along the far side, Illikainen back out for the Huskies to Tilke. And the Huskies will change on the go. Behind the net, coming out with it. Good play there by Baldwin again. And a nice lead pass for Panic. Panic in the Husky zone. Flips it by a defender, centering pass. And nice job there by Schipper to control and send it back out. Now hustling in is Kelsey Klein. Gophers make a partial line change, trying to wrap around. Good idea by Riley. Nobody there for the Gophers, but a great attempt there by the sophomore. Lead pass there is played by Garzone. And now back into the Gopher end as icing is waved off. On the far side. Now coming back over, Williamson. Wrist shot, getting a piece of that was Slattery. Doing a nice job on defense. Now coming out with it there is Spataro. And turn right back over, Malitza McMillan. Sends it back in for the Lady Gophers. D-to-D behind the net, that's Slattery and Redford. And a nice lead pass there for Patricus, but St. Cloud still unable to clear. On the far side, played there by Cameron Easy. And this will just tap over the blue line, and here comes Patricus. And intercepted by Potomac. Potomac to Brandt. Good defensive work there by Redford, as Brandt unable to get a shot off. Turnover, good job there by Brandt. Knocked to the ice there was Potomac. Pass there. Drop pass and a beauty. And a good shot by Cameron Easy. Again, nice job by Fitzgerald. Trying to wrap around Fitzgerald. This might be one of those accidentally on purpose knocking the net off its moorings, but it worked in this case.
Yeah, that was a really nice drop pass there. That's one of the best things about watching this line play of Hannah, Danny, and Sarah. They know each other so well, and behind the back, no look drop pass there. She knew right where she was, and it's one of the funnest parts about watching that line play.
So coming out here for the Gophers is the line with Kelly Panic. She has 27 points on the year. Still only a sophomore, Piazza. Now Steckline at the point, keeping it in. Over there for Wolf. Pad save by Fitzgerald. Back out again for Steckline. Sends it in cross ice. Chasing after it is Wolf. Wolf drop pass, top of the circle. Save, rebound, another save, and a goal! Nice initial shot from the top of the circle, a couple rebounds, and I think Piazza got that one.
Yeah, nice follow-up by that. I think at one point the St. Cloud player actually hit it back into Fitzgerald's pad, but it was the rebound after that that ended up going in. But nice continued pressure there by that line, and they got the goal out of it.
There's the initial save and a rebound, and unable to control it there was Kirbyville. Sending it in for the Huskies, that's Mackenzie Johnson. And now back behind the net as the Gophers regroup. 1-0 here, Minnesota, as coming out with it is Baldwin. Baldwin in the zone, played there for Fitzgerald. Good pad save there. As this goes back out into the neutral zone, LaVie, that might be one of the first shots that she's faced here tonight. As at the blue line, it's fought for, trying to come out with it for the Gophers was Haley. As this goes back into the Gopher zone, Baldwin with it behind the net. I initially thought Piazza got the goal, but actually getting credit for it is Kate Schipper. Piazza did get an assist, as does Megan Wolf at 8:56. Shot put on, high off the glass, and now into the corner we go. There's McMillan again. Sending it out along the near boards, as trying to play it there was Caitlin Riley. For the Huskies, that's Markstrom sending it in. Now Riley with it again for Minnesota. Over the line. Good defensive work there, both by Spataro and Pena. Nice drop pass. Coming in is Skarzinski. Behind the net, played there by Williamson. 4 players fighting for it along the short boards. Is coming out with it again is Redford. Redford and Slattery are the number 1 D line here for the Huskies tonight. As this is Salins taking in. Good drop pass. Waffle save, a dangerous rebound. Lots of congestion in front. The puck is still loose. And LaVie finally hangs on. And a great chance there, Katie, for St. Cloud to tie it up.
Yeah, really nice drop pass there for a good shot, and then that continued pressure off that shot to try to get that rebound. Levier in the defense kind of had it covered there. One girl was behind Levier in case it went through. But yeah, really good effort there on St. Cloud, especially after the goal not too long ago, to come back and get some pressure right away.
Past the midway point here of the first period, winning the faceoff was Erickson. Good block there by the Gopher defense as Cameron Easy into the zone. Centering pass for Potomac, and a beauty, but getting a piece of it late was Anderson, the St. Cloud defender. Here comes Tilke 1-on-2. Tilke tried to center, broken up there smartly by Wolf. Now the Gophers back the other way. Nice lead flip pass there for Cameron Easy. Potomac. Cameron Easy takes a shot, blocked there by Anderson. I think she was trying to use her as a screen and did it well. Tilke has that intercepted by Cameron Easy. Here's Brandt. Brandt to Potomac. There's Steckline. Big slap shot, nice waffle save by Fitzgerald. And a dangerous rebound is controlled there by St. Cloud. Brandt keeps it in, however. Anna Brandt down low. Wraparound attempt, again off the moorings, the net comes, as that was Schipper looking for a second of the night. Over for the Gophers is Schipper once more. Kate Schipper now with 6 goals on the season. She also played at Breck. Behind the net, controlling there was Anderson, and out of the zone. Now for the Gophers, Piazza again. Over the line. Centering pass, and a beauty goes right in front of Fitzgerald. And the Huskies will send it out. Into the Gopher zone as St. Cloud will make a line change here with just over 7 minutes left in the first. That shot will flip high in the air and now come over to the near boards. Hespenheide making a play on it. Behind the net there is Olikainen. She comes out with it. Silvia Olikainen from Klakala, Finland. I hope I'm close on the pronunciation. Good job pinching in there by Mackrick to keep it in for the Huskies. And now here come the Gophers once more, 2-on-1. Centering pass, give and go. Oh, Fitzgerald able to cover up on a really nice 2-on-1.
Wow, Fitzgerald coming away with some huge saves tonight. That was well played 2-on-1 by the Gophers there. They did a little sauce pass over to the other player through the D there, and Fitzgerald just laid out for that and made a really nice play.
We'll take another look at it here. Along the far boards, keeping it in there was Garzone. Brooke Garzone actually played at Shattuck St. Mary's. Slap shot, they hit a bunch of traffic in front, and now it's steered away by the Huskies. Back behind their net is Radford and Salins. Nice centering pass, Slattery able to break that up in front of the net. Taking it there is Kelsey Salins, the junior. Shot put on, glove saved by Levier, and she will hang on as we're under 6 minutes. Again, a good defensive effort by the Huskies, and especially Fitzgerald to only have a 1-goal game right now.
Yeah, the Gophers have had several really good scoring opportunities, and like you said, with Fitzgerald, she's really held them in there. There's been a couple that easily could have gone in had she not made really nice saves.
Faceoff goes behind the net. Is taking it there is Sophie Skarzinski, a freshman defender from Lake Forest, Illinois. Gophers back the other way. That's Sophie Skarzinski. Brandt, drop pass. Skarzinski will take it. Coming to the near side for Klein. Wrist shot. Smart glove save by Fitzgerald. Again, the improvement by St. Cloud under Eric Root is really something. When you think about last season, they had 8 victories, and they're already at that mark here in December.
Yeah, really impressive, especially only being a second-year coach. You know, it says a lot about the discipline he's got his team under, the way they respect him, and just what he's doing with that program up there to turn it around like that in 1 year. And so it'll be exciting to see what he does with the program over the next couple of years as they keep continuing to improve.
Illikainen centering pass for Julia Tilke. Carrie Broad, who was on the ice earlier, she was one of the first coaches at St. Cloud State for their women's program. Before then, she had coached at North St. Paul Tartan, who had a co-op team. Good chance there again for the Gopher ladies. Hannah Brandt had that taken away at the last second. Illikainen, the 5'9 senior, into the Gopher zone. This goes high in the air and over the glass. So we'll have a face-off here in the Gopher zone. 4:53 left to go here in the first. Sent back by Hannah Brodt, the fourth line center here for St. Cloud. Hannah, of course, was a great player for the Raiders. I'll try and get to a story about her and Hannah Brandt a little bit later on. That bounces by the stick of Shipper. Good work there. She tried to steal it away from Jordan Stewart. And now the Huskies send it into the Gopher zone. Back there is Melitza McMillan. Good lead pass there for Piazza. Piazza over the red line. Tried to get to Shipper, went a little too far, however. So now Turbyville trying to control for the Huskies. Panic. This will hop over the blue line, so the Gophers will regroup. McMillan with 17 points on the year. Tied with Wolf among the leading defenders. Of course, Wolf just got her 18th. Here earlier tonight, Williamson into the zone. That was partially blocked by Turbyville. And so we'll have a face-off in the St. Cloud zone.
Yeah, like you said, Melitza, you know, in the top couple goal scorers here for the U for D. I think she's 4th or 5th. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but, you know, really impressive offensive, defensive for her. She's got a great shot. She rushes the puck well and puts some pucks in the net.
No doubt about it. Behind the net, there's Williamson again. Slattery trying to send it back out. Kept in. Nice tip in front of the net by Garzone as this goes back into the corner. Centering pass. That was broken up by the Huskies. Kept in there by Lee Steckline. Steckline down low for Riley. Riley, a spin move there in the circle. Back behind the net for Williamson. Kipton at the point. That shot gets deflected and bounces over to the near boards. Steckline pinching in, doing a nice job. A couple of Huskies there trying to break that up. That was Lauren Hespenheide, and she'll come out with it. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the first. Hespenheide will just send it in as the Huskies will change on the go behind the net. Gophers going D to D, and now coming out with it is Wolf. Wolf and Steckline, both juniors. Behind the net, trying to control for the Huskies there was Anderson, and she does. A little lead pass there for Spataro. Good job by the Gopher defense. That was Skarzinski again. Spataro with some light pressure to keep it in the Gopher zone. Hot pass for Cameronese. She tries to get it by the defender, and she does. 3-on-1, Cameronese, centering pass, and a goal! Brandt didn't get as much of it as I think she wanted to, but it worked nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, a goal's a goal, but like you said, she, I think she kind of missed it a little bit, or it hopped. She tried to get a good one-timer on there, and it just kind of happened to bounce over Fitzpatrick's foot there, but really good pass by Danny coming in on that, and good finish by Hannah.
So that is Hannah Brandt's 20th goal on the season. So we'll take a look at the tail end of it here. Now Fitzgerald got a piece of it, but not quite enough.
Yeah, like you said, I think Hannah just didn't quite connect fully on it, but it went in, and that's, at the end of the day, all that matters.
Right. Yeah, I would think Hannah Brandt will have a lot of success in the National Women's Hockey League. She was the number 2 overall pick last year by Connecticut, so I'm sure they're going to be very happy to have her next year.
Yeah. I haven't talked to her about her future plans, but, if she does go that route, any team that she's on will be lucky to have her, and, hopefully for her, a continuing future with the national team and hopefully the Olympics, but, yeah, any team will be lucky to have her once she graduates.
Here come the Gophers again. Backhand and a beauty! Coming over to the near post, Kate Schipper with her second goal of the night. So 2 goals, just over 30 seconds apart, and quickly the Gophers getting some breathing room as now they're up 3-0. As you see a replay, what a nice move to come over to the near post and a backhand to make it 3-0.
Yeah, nice cut across there by Schipper with that backhand, and like you said, 2 goals here in 30 seconds is likely not the way St. Cloud wanted to end the period, but they still got about a minute and a half here to get one in or at least get some pressure, but good pressure by the Gophers here the last minute.
Piazza's second assist, Schipper's second goal as the Gophers almost made it 4-0 there. Getting it out for the Huskies was Ola Kanan. And now coming in is McMillan. Holding on to the puck. Good centering pass. That was intended for Haley, but it hopped by her. Between the circles, big save by Fitzgerald, and she'll hang on. Sydney Baldwin with a good scoring chance there here late in the first.
Yeah, he's got Nina Rogers, Sierra Smith, and Paige Haley out there, and a couple of players who haven't seen the most ice time this year, so it's really nice to see them out there tonight, get their feet wet on the ice and hopefully get a point or two, but it's good to see, different players on the ice.
In the face-off circle, that shot hit a bunch of traffic, getting it again, and covering up as Fitzgerald late, Paige Haley with a couple of good opportunities. So a late face-off here, as that was Tiana Gunderson, a freshman from Rosso, 22 seconds left in the period.
Like you said, Tiana coming in from Roseville, cousins of former Gopher Sarah Erickson. It's nice to see some bloodlines in the picture.
In the neutral zone, there's Baldwin intercepting it, coming in 3-on-2. That wrist shot was deflected by Anderson. And it'll go out of play here with just 4 seconds remaining. Face-off won by the Gophers. Little wrist shot goes wide of the net, and that will do it for the first period. St. Cloud State playing some really good hockey, and then the Gophers taking over there very late to expand a 1-0 lead to 3-0 very quickly.
Yeah, like you said, St. Cloud State playing well. They had some really good plays in the defensive zone, and some good plays in the offensive zone. And the Gophers just had a couple really good scoring opportunities, and they capitalized on it. I think the Gophers overall had more legitimate scoring opportunities than St. Cloud did, but St. Cloud had their opportunity for pressure as well. So we'll see how they come out second period, see if they can pop a couple in.
You would certainly figure the shots will go pretty heavily in favor of the Golden Gophers. Let's send it down to Dale Irving as he is head coach for the St. Cloud State Huskies.
All right, we're joined by the coach, Eric Root here of St. Cloud. First of all, hey, your team coming into this game, winning 7 out of 8 or an unbeaten streak, setting a school record. What were you guys doing in that streak that you saw that made the improvement?
You know what? We were getting great goaltending, playing solid defense, and the biggest thing for us is scoring goals. If we can get a goal or two, we're a different team. So, I think that was the big thing is just creating a little more offense. We had one line that we kind of put together at the start of that streak that really kick-started things, and it gave our other lines confidence, too, in different matchups. So, I think that was the key.
Hey, this was a great first period, a couple of late goals. Now sees you down 3-0, but that first few minutes of the period were really good.
Yeah, I think if you look for us, we're just trying to get better all the time. And when we played these guys earlier in the season, we were penned in all the time and penned in. In that period, I thought we had a few bursts and got a few good scoring chances. And I think we're improving every day, which is all we can look to do right now.
Awesome. Thanks. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, we're after one period here. The Gophers up 3-0. We'll have more of the intermission report after this.
This float serve. Seliger Swenson.
Seliger Swenson back set. Hannah Tapp. And Hannah Tapp gets another point for the Gophers.
Tremendous serve from Dolly Santana. That had pace, that had bend.
We're back here at the Roseville Skating Center. First intermission. I'm joined now by Doug Johnson, president and publisher of Let's Play Hockey. And Doug, of course, this is the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game, so I want to start there. Tell us your involvement with the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame and how this game got started.
Well, I'm on the board of the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. I've been on it for several years, and every year the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame gets 2 exempt college games, one for the men, one for the women.
Okay.
And for the women, the game has been played up in Evelyn for 2 or 3 years, and we try to talk about let's bring it to the cities where we can expose the hall and the game to more young girls and women from the hockey standpoint. So last year was our first year in the Twin Cities. The game was played at Braemar Arena, almost a sellout, 2,500. The Gophers played the Huskies, and it was really a great day.
So is this like the 5th year then for women?
Yes,
they've done this?
yes,
Okay.
it's been the 5th year. Bemidji State's been involved in the game.
Okay.
Lindenwood has played before. The Minnesota Whitecaps have played, and those games were normally up at Eveleth at their facility.
Okay, and you said the men's have been doing it as well about the same time.
Yes.
So its connection, is it a fundraising thing, or does it help out the hall?
Yes, for the men's game, it is a big fundraiser for them. The Gophers are normally involved, or North Dakota play in the game. This year, the Gophers played Vermont at Mariucci Arena. And from the women's standpoint, we're just trying to grow it as much as we can and get as many people exposed to the game of girls and women's hockey, and also exposure for the Hall of Fame and the museum up in Eveleth, Minnesota, so people can come up there and see all the great displays that are available.
Now, certainly, it'd be very easy to hold the game at Ritter, but you're bringing it back into the communities and the roots of the youth hockey, which is a great idea.
No question. A lot of that had to do with Brad Foss, the coach of the University of Minnesota. He thought it would be great to bring it out to a community-based arena, because like a lot of the players today grew up in the Roseville area, and it's fun to have all the little girls come back, or the high school kids to kind of see their idols play. And same with when the game was at Braemar, there were some Edina players and Minnetonka players close by that people could see them in a Gopher uniform or a St. Cloud uniform.
What's your planning process look like as far as like next year? Do you have ideas of where you might take it, or is that still in the works?
Well, it was very interesting. After the first year we had it at Braemar, we had a lot of people come to us and say, we want to host this game. Aldrich was talking about it. Of course, Roseville ended up here. Inver Grove Heights was talking about, putting on the game. So it's really spurred a lot of interest around the Twin Cities.
Of course, the hall has their induction ceremonies coming up. You've got some new inductions. Are you close into that process of who gets voted in?
Not really. The USA Hockey handles all the inductions and the selection process. They handle that separately from the Hall of Fame Museum up in Eveleth.
All right. Now, of course, Let's Play Hockey, which has been a hockey staple for 44 years. Do I have that right? Early 70s, I believe?
Yes, correct.
Tell us what's going on with Let's Play Hockey and how things are going.
Well, it's gone very, very well. And as you said, Bob Utek started the paper 44 years ago, back in 1972. And it was really to cover levels of hockey that the mainstream media chooses not to cover, and that's the little kids, the mites, the peewees, the bantams, the girls, the juniors, the high schools, and we continue to do that today.
Right. Now you've got an expo coming up. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? We got some crowd here, getting loud, getting loud.
You like that enthusiasm. But yeah, we have the Let's Play Hockey Expo. This will be our 27th year. It's held during the boys' state tournament, and the expo itself is at the St. Paul River Center. We get about 350 different booths, 200 different exhibitors showcasing the latest hockey equipment, merchandise, hockey schools and camps, training centers, training devices, and it's really just a fun atmosphere for the family. Free of charge to attend.
Nice.
A lot of celebrities, a lot of giveaways, and it really excites people, especially in the hockey world, to see what's new and exciting coming out.
Perfect, Doug. Well, thanks for stopping by, and maybe we'll work again next year, depending on where the Hall of Fame game ends up. And so far, it's been a great turnout here at Roseville. Couldn't ask for anything better.
It really has, and I want to thank you guys also for broadcasting the game. It really means a lot.
All right, we're still here. First intermission. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll have former Gopher coach Laura Halderson and Rhonda Engelhart, used to be Rhonda Curtin, as the Roseville fans know her. So we'll be back. Stay with us.
It's time for today's Land O'Lakes Great Moment in Gopher History. Golden Gopher legend Michael Thompson made history in multiple ways at the 1978 NBA Draft. Thompson became the first and to date only Minnesota player ever to be taken first overall, chosen by the Portland Trailblazers over future Hall of Famer Larry Bird, among others. A native of the Bahamas, Thompson also became the first foreign-born player to be selected with that first overall pick. Thompson was named NBA All-Rookie Team in 1979 and went on to enjoy a 13-year professional career, winning 2 NBA titles with the Los Angeles Lakers. Currently, Thompson serves as the color commentator on Lakers television broadcast, and his son Klay Thompson is an all-star player with the Golden State Warriors. Michael Thompson's selection as the first overall pick in the 1978 NBA Draft is today's Land O'Lakes Great Moment in Gopher history.
Welcome back to the Intermission Report. I'm joined now by former Gopher coach Laura Halderson, former Gopher. It's hard for me to say Engelhardt. I'm
You
used
can
to
say Curtin.
Curtin.
It's fine. Curtin's fine.
It's a habit, but it's a good habit. Of course, Laura was a coach for 10 seasons from 1997 to 2007, 3 national titles. And Rhonda, of course, from 1999 to 2003, was a forward/defenseman, 2-time All-American, national champ in 2000. I'd go on and on here, but the one stat I love was 2002 WCHA Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and a scoring champ. Laura, it's not often you get a player who's a Defensive Player of the Year and a scoring champ. That's rare.
Well, the thing that I loved about Rhonda is, all these people in Roseville know how great of a forward she was and a prolific scorer. And so she came to the university and she started out as a forward. And then late in her career, we were a little low on defense. And so she made the transition to D. I'm sure it wasn't her favorite thing to do, but she was a team player. And then lo and behold, she is like an All-American defenseman. And that says a lot about her as a player, but also as a person willing to take that on.
How was the transition for you?
Well, it was hard at first, and once I figured out kind of my role as a defender, it became easier, and I began to like it. So by the end, I actually liked playing defense, which I thought I would never say.
Nice. Now, of course, the whole object of today's Hall of Fame game is to bring the game back into the community and the roots. Do you remember, I'm sure you do, the recruiting period and what you saw in Rhonda? Did you come out here and watch her in the same arena 20-some years, or not 20 years ago, but...
Not that many.
No, sorry. But what do you remember about watching her play?
I remember that this Roseville team was dominant, and the hands, she and her sister both could dangle like nobody's business, and the way they could move the puck, find each other, and just play with humility too. As a recruiter, I watch body language and just kind of how does this player interact with their teammates and those type of things, and she just had a great attitude and was such a team player. It was a total package because she was also a great student. So yes, I spent a lot of time watching Rhonda and Roseville girls hockey. Loved every minute of it and was proud to have coached her.
Right. Well, you mentioned your sister Renee too. Unfortunately, the career got cut short. You guys dominated Roseville hockey for so long. What does it mean to come back now and have this game in your backyard, or what used to be your backyard?
Yeah, well, I think it's great. There's so much tradition here. We've had a lot of Roseville players go on to play at the U, probably more than any other city. So it's just great to kind of bring it back here and start kind of where we've all began.
Right. How closely do each of you follow the Gopher hockey team now? You've been removed for almost 10 years now. You still watch a lot of their games, see what they're up to?
Well, I still work at the University of Minnesota in the athletic department.
So you're pretty close there.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to them. Plus, the head coach and one of the assistant coaches both were on my staff for years, and the other assistant coach was one of our players for 4 years, so kind of have a connection there. And
You're in. You got it in.
Great to follow them. They're doing awesome.
Right. You still send them some suggestions now?
Oh, no. There's no need for that. No need for that.
You're out. How about you, Rhonda? Do you still watch, try to get to some of the games?
Yeah, some of them. It's hard. I coach high school hockey, and then I have 3 kids, so my freedom isn't as much as I would like. But was able to see the national tournament when I was back at Ritter Arena, which was fun. I took my daughters, and it's just fun. Such a good team, so I'm proud to be a part of it.
Right. Well, tell us about your coaching career now.
I coached at Breck School, which I love. I have a great group of kids that work hard. We've been off to a really good start. So.
Awesome. And you like coaching, and you have a former Roseville player on your staff, is that true?
I have Bethany Browson on my staff.
Yeah. So with a lot of your players moving on and now coaching, do you get any phone calls looking for coaching tips over the years? Rhonda, you're going to call her up and ask for some tips?
We run into each other here and there and at the alumni game and stuff. Those guys do a great job. They have plenty of information, and if they ever need help or ideas or suggestions, I'm available, but I'm not necessarily going to tell them what to do.
Right.
But it's so great to see so many former Division I players, and especially for me, the Gopher players go on to coach and have an impact on these young girls and be role models for them, just like Rhonda is and so many others, to give back and be part of girls high school hockey. It's awesome.
It is. How about yourself? Do you see yourself coaching again? You've done some USA hockey coaching. What does it look like for you in your future?
Well, I chuckle because people ask me that question, but honestly, I don't have a desire to get back on the ice. I'm helping with this team, the Minnesota Whitecaps now. It's a post-college team we're actually playing tomorrow against, a team that's watching this game, the Boston Pride from the NWHL. And so I'm helping out, more of a managerial type of role. Rob Stauber is the head coach. So I really like that role because I'm able to be a part of a team and interact with those players and have those relationships, but not have to plan practice or go out on the ice all the time. And it's perfect for me right now.
All right, so we've obviously watched the first period. What's your take on the team that you've seen so far this year? How do they look to you guys?
Well, I think they started the game, they came out strong, attacking. I think St. Cloud's goalie did a good job keeping them in the game, but Minnesota found a way to score. And I think has dominated most of the game, but I think St. Cloud is figuring it out, what they need to do, the changes they need to make, just to create some offense.
Yeah, a couple of late goals kind of deflates you a little bit where you thought maybe you'd be trailing just 1-0. I mean, what kind of message, if you're Coach Rude, when you're in the locker room, what kind of message do you give your team? Now you're down by 3 against Minnesota. How do you come out and attack the second period?
Do you want that one?
You're
Sure.
a coach now. So
I am. Well, I think you're right. Those 2 late goals were tough, and that's going to really give the momentum to Minnesota. And St. Cloud has to kind of pick themselves up and gear up again because they were hanging tough for the majority of that period. Made some good plays, had some good chances. Their goalie kept them in it. So hopefully the second period will be stronger for them.
All right, Laura, Rhonda, thanks for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to send it back up to the booth with Jerry and Katie.
Thanks, Dale. 3-0 Gophers after 1. The shots on goal were 17-5 in favor of the maroon and gold. Those 3 goals in the period, Schipper getting 2 of them, sandwiching the goal by Hannah Brandt, as we'll take a look here at the highlights of the first period. As you see there, Katie Fitzgerald working awfully hard in the first period. There you see one of the few glove saves made by Lavelli, as that one was the goal by Brandt, and then quickly right away after was the 3rd goal of the game, second one by Schipper to make it 3-0 Gophers after 1. Step line coming all the way around the net. Good job there by Julia Tilke to be right on her back. Lead pass there intended for Potomac. As now this goes into the St. Cloud zone. Back there for the Gophers is Hannah Brandt. Brandt on the ice, now behind the net for the Huskies. That's played there by the defense. Lead pass there connects with Illikainen. Molly Illikainen, the leading scorer for St. Cloud. 12 goals, 10 assists on the year. Now back with it is Anderson. Anderson to Erickson. That centering pass was intercepted by Panic, and we will have offsides on the Gophers.
Good start here by the Gophers, coming out right away, getting a shot on net. St. Cloud's going to want to come out here right away, too, and get that pressure going back the other way.
McMillan to Schipper, quickly into the St. Cloud zone. That hops high off the plexiglass. Lisa McMillan with it again, over to her D partner Baldwin. Baldwin 1 goal, 10 helpers on the 2015-2016 season so far. Sent in by Panic. Now along the far boards, getting tripped up there was Sydney Baldwin. Panic again, nice lead pass there for Piazza. Turnover. Panic gets by a couple of Huskies. Looking for a teammate. And it's taken back in the circle. Good play there by Piazza again. As this second line for the Gophers is really clicking tonight.
Yeah, they are. They've had some really good offensive chances, and they keep the puck in. St. Cloud seems to be getting it out, and then the Gophers are getting it right back, and that's because of that pressure from that second line and not letting them get that puck past the red line and get it in deep.
Williamson had her pocket picked, gets it back, puts a shot on, steered away by Fitzgerald, as was the rebound. And now the Huskies into the Gopher zone. After it there is Riley. Riley with a burst of speed, comes over to the near side, over the red line to Williamson. Taking it there for St. Cloud is Carolyn Markstrom. And a pass there to Spataro, the captain for the Huskies. Turbyville. Good interception there by the Gophers, Skarzinski. And a good lead pass connects there with Garzone. Shot put on, saved by Fitzpatrick, and she will hang on. Rhonda Curtin and Bethany Browsen, two of the coaches for Breck this year, currently second in Class A, just behind number 1 Blake. As private school rivalries go, Katie, that's one of the bigger ones.
That is, yep, it always has been. Those top 2 teams are always in the top couple, and like you said, both private schools, and they always have a good rivalry.
We used to be in the old Tri-Metro. I'd imagine we're still in the same conference. We may have our first penalty of the game, and we will. This is going to be tripping on Mackrick. And the Gophers, with one of the more unbelievable power play numbers that I have heard at any level of hockey, over 45% conversion on the power play.
Yeah, like you said, really good power play. And I think they're at about 45% this year. I think it likely went down a little bit after Wisconsin, because I know they didn't have a super successful power play this last weekend. But yeah, really good power play. Very dangerous to take penalties against them, because chances are pretty high they're going to put the puck in the net when they're on that power play.
Baldwin and Wolf on the point for the power play. Trying to control it there was Potomac, and good job by the St. Cloud defense. They'll wraps around to the far side. Megan Wolf will play it there. Wolf with a nice lead pass for Cameronese. Behind the net. That was intended for Potomac. Now back out to the point. Wrist shot hits traffic and goes just wide of the net. Getting a piece of it there with Shipper. 4 players behind the net. Williamson trying to control it there. Excuse me, that was Baldwin. Now here comes shorthanded St. Cloud. 2-on-2. Good back checking there by Baldwin to break that up. Trying to wrap around on the near side was Pena. And now here come the Gophers again. Over the line. That was broken up on a very nice play by Slattery. Lexi Slattery played at Centennial, transferred for her senior year, and played with the Roseville Raiders. McMillan. We have 38 seconds left to go here in the power play. Hannah Brandt quickly over the line. Now into the corner. Still controlling the Gophers. That's Piazza. And on the near boards, this will be sent well out of the zone. Levier with it. She gets it to McMillan. 10 seconds left here in the power play. Brandt over the line. Goes a little farther than I think she would have liked. Now back out to the point. Back down low. Power play has expired. Nice little toe drag there by Brandt. Back to the blue line. Shot put on through a bunch of traffic. And another big save by Fitzgerald.
Nice penalty kill there by St. Cloud. They kept the Gophers from having really any super good scoring chances, and had that 2-on-1, kind of a 2-on-2 rush there with a little miscommunication by the Gopher D. So really good penalty kill for St. Cloud there. Hopefully they'll get some momentum off that.
Paige Haley in the neutral zone. Now the Gophers back out. Very nice lead pass there for Sierra Smith. Centering pass intended there for Rogers, and that was broken up by the St. Cloud defense. 5.5 minutes gone here in the second period. It's still 3-0. Coming in with a good scoring opportunity was Spataro, the captain. She's been very impressive all over the ice tonight. Coming down for the Gophers is Smith again. Behind the net. Good job there by the Huskies. That's Emma Turbyville again, a 5'10 sophomore. Chrisley Steckline at 6 feet tall, the tallest player on either team. Good job there by the Gophers. That was Williamson. Now back over the line. And controlling there was Megan Wolf. It's been a long time since we've heard a whistle. Taking it there is Baldwin again. All the way into the Husky zone. Tried to center. That was broken up. Chance in front, steered away by Fitzpatrick. That was Riley for the Gophers.
Nice center drive there by Riley, getting that shot off and almost putting that puck away.
Along the short boards, that's sent forward. Taking it there is Mackenzie Johnson, and we have offsides on St. Cloud. Then tomorrow, the Roseville Raiders will take on Cretin here at Roseville Arena at 3 o'clock. And again, some coaches very familiar to a lot of people, as you have Terry Skrypek, former Hill Murray and St. Thomas coach, along with Chrissy Wendell and Johnny Pohl, the co-head coaches for the Cretin Raiders.
Yeah, pretty solid coaching staff over there for Cretin.
I would say so. Behind the net for the Gophers, that's Kelsey Klein. To the far boards for Skarzinski. Now here's Cameron Easy over the line. Cameron Easy, wrist shot, high, saved by Fitzpatrick. And steering it away as Slattery now comes out with it. That's a Slattery, nice centering pass there for Johnson. That shot steered away by Levier. Behind the net, here's Hannah Brandt again. Good lead pass for Potomac. Sarah Potomac, ooh, that was close to offsides. Just holding out was Cameron Easy. She gets tripped up and goes into the boards behind the net. It looks like she's all right. Taking it there is Hespenhyde. Slattery trying to control between Potomac and Cameron Easy. That's a dangerous proposition. Keeping it in there along the far blue line is Panic. Now Roseville will regroup. The stick line, flip pass, and it's stolen away. And a nice play there from Hespenhyde. Sent into the Husky zone by Piazza. 8 minutes gone here in a scoreless second period. Now coming out with it is Hespenhyde. Lauren Hespenhyde, a junior from Shakopee. Now here comes Steckline. Good lead pass there for Shipper as she sends it in the zone. Shipper behind the net, great centering pass. But stealing it away is Julia Tilke. Tilke coming in one-on-one. Tilke couldn't get a shot off, and Levier will hold on for the save.
Nice one-on-one play there by Barlow. She kept her away from the net, and she kind of lost the puck there and made an easy save for Levier.
Katie, you were a psychology major, so I suppose talk about a perfect fit. Premier Sports Psychology, as you work in the office there. How is that going for you?
Good. I really like it there. I'm back in grad school as well for a counseling and student psychology or counseling and student personnel psych program. So it's a good fit for where I'm at right now, and hopefully eventually someday I'll be a psychologist there, but we'll see.
Centering pass there connects with Riley. She comes into the zone, gets tripped up as there's a couple of defenders, and great effort there by Riley to draw the penalty.
Yeah, nice effort there to try to split that double team, and they didn't have a choice besides to put their stick there because they had no other way of stopping her, and she drew a penalty on that. So good effort taking one for the team and trying to drive to the net.
This one will go on Emma Turbyville.
I don't think Emma looked too happy about that call, but you can see right there on the replay, they definitely turned that stick and swatted right at her feet, so you're going to get that call every time.
Yeah, Riley had split the defenders and looked like he was going to get a really good scoring opportunity. Hustling after it there was Riley. Now in the corner we go. Back behind the net for the Gophers is Panic. Out to the point, McMillan. Step line, give and go. Now at the top of the circle, McMillan slap shekels just wide of the net, and the rebound escapes a couple of Gophers. Great job by McMillan to use her skate to keep it in the zone, and a nice job by Fitzpatrick in front of the net again. .92 seconds left in the power play. A good face-off win there by Panic. Step line on the blue line. Over to the far side, Brandt, now down low. Gophers cycling on the far side of the ice. McMillan, that was broken up. Good play by Ellie Kanan. McMillan to the circle. Steckline will take it back out. Wrist shot goes just wide of the net. Panic couldn't quite get a piece of it. Good flip pass. McMillan for Steckline. Wrist shot goes just wide of the near post. McMillan keeping it in again. Top of the circle, Brandt. Now down low, Fitzpatrick gets enough of it to steer it away. Trying to slap it out of the zone was Anderson. Great job by McMillan again to keep it in. Wrist to his traffic to the goal, and it's 4-0. McMillan was just superb on that power play.
Yeah, great composure by Melissa there on the point. Kept it in a couple times with her skates and one, reach there with her stick. And good shot on that. She's, like I said before, really deadly offensive defenseman, and she'll get that quick snapshot off and catch the goalie and their penalty killers off guard. And we talked before about such an effective power play by the Gophers, and St. Cloud did a great job killing them off the one time. But the more you put yourself at that penalty kill position, the more likely they are going to be to score. Really nice shot by Moods on that.
It looked like it was deflected in front of the net. McMillan now get a very big assist on that one, as it is now 4-0 Gophers. St. Cloud is yet to score on the Gophers this year in 7+ periods. Behind the net there is Megan Wolf. Now for Haley. Nice toe drag by Nina Rogers coming into the zone. And she gets it through the 5-hole to make it 5-0. Very quickly for the Gophers, as again they strike twice in a row in a very short span.
It's nice to hear that Gopher bench erupt like that when someone like Nina, who doesn't score that often, doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, gets a goal. And it's always fun to see the team get excited for their teammates like that. It's really good to see. But nice shot by Nina on that.
That is Rogers' 5th goal of the season. As now the Gophers have pretty much put this one away. Behind the net for the Huskies, trying to take it there is Patrikas. Good chance there in front of the net on a deflection by Salins. Between the circles in front. And another good chance there for Patrikas. That just hops by the stick of Klein, as St. Cloud will make a line change. Klein behind the net. Does a big job there getting it to Williamson. Cross ice, Garzinski will regroup a little bit. Nice job by Paige Pena, to put pressure on for St. Cloud. Now Riley tries a drop pass, that was intercepted. Nice job there by Hespenheide. And now along the Gopher bench. A little physical play between Riley and Pena. Good drop pass for Steckline. Lee over to Barlow. Barlow in the St. Cloud zone. Under 8 minutes left to go here in the second. Gophers controlling, centering pass, and that goes wide. Good job by Slattery in front of the net. Slattery was at Providence and then transferred to St. Cloud. That shot was deflected. Fitzpatrick with the save behind the net. That's Shipper. St. Cloud wraps it around to the far boards where it's played there by Kelly Panic. Taking it there for the Gophers was Piazza. Back out to the point, played there by Barlow. Just trying to steal it away was Julia Tilke. Very impressive for a freshman. And she is the second leading scorer for the Huskies, tied with Brittany Anderson. Bottom of the circle. This goes over to the far boards where it's kept in there by Panic. There's Piazza. In the circle, wrist shot, hits a bunch of traffic. Tried to get it to McMillan. Good play there by Piazza. Back behind the net, McMillan. Nice play to get it back to her teammate, Wolf. Into the St. Cloud zone, just past the 6:23 mark here of the second period. I'd like to thank those of you watching on CTV Comcast Channel 14 and online, either on the Gophers website or ctvnorthsuburbs.org. As Fitzgerald making another play there. Branton for the faceoff, gets just behind her. Potomac, centering pass and a beauty, shot put on! And it's 6-0, because I think Cameron Easy's going to get that one.
Yeah, again, nice save by Fitzgerald on that first one. And, you know, you always say you can rely on your goalie to make that first save, but that second and third rebound, someone's got to pick her up in front. And, you know, Fitzgerald can't continue to make those awesome rebound saves. It's just not realistic. So, you know, she could use a little help in front picking up those sticks, because when, you know, someone like Danny Cameronese gets the puck right there on the crease, she's going to put it away if no one picks her up.
Potomac will get an assist, as getting the goal is Cameronese. 3 goals in each period for the Gophers as they are up 6-0. Here in the waning stages of the second period, Brandt has that taken away there by Ilikainen. Now in the circle, shot put on, hit traffic, and the Gophers will send it out. Nice job there by Baldwin. Brandt tried to center it there for Cameronese. Cameronese very close to getting to 20 goals on the year. Ilikainen will backhand it back into the Gopher zone as the Huskies go off on a line change. Good job there behind the net by Johnson. Now for the Gophers, that was Baldwin. Good little lead pass for Cameronese. Danny looking for back-to-back goals. Centering pass, a good one there for Potomac. Behind the net, trying a centering attempt. That was broken up on a nice play by Hannah Brote. Hannah Brote through neutral ice and back into the Gopher end. Step line getting tripped up there. That pass for Rogers. And now over for Paige Haley. 4:25 left in the second. As we have 5 different goal scorers here tonight for the Gophers. Good centering pass. Taking it there is Haley. Over the blue line. And here come the Huskies the other way. That's Patrikas. Stolen away by the Lady Gophers. Lead pass there for Haley. It's a little too far for her. As taking it there for St. Cloud is Markstrom. In the neutral zone, lead pass there for Spataro. Vanessa centering pass for Patrikas. And that one-timer, she couldn't get much on it. Now the Gophers coming back. Good pass for Riley. Riley over the blue line. Centering attempt was partially blocked there by Slattery. Behind the net is Redford. And that gets to Patrikas. Good pass for Spataro. She'll send it into the Gopher zone as the Huskies change on the go. Behind the net. Played there by Wolf. Nice little spin move there. Wolf will take it again. And that will be flipped out of the zone by the Gophers. Nice job there by the St. Cloud defense. That was Anderson again. Ilikainen into the zone. She gets it back. Tries to go backhand, but couldn't get the shot off. And accidentally collides into Lavie. And now the Gophers through the neutral zone. That lead pass is just a little too far as they tried to spring Haley. Good job at the blue line. Baldwin. 2:20 remaining. Back there for the Gophers is Rogers. Good defensive work there by St. Cloud. Played there by Anderson. That will be flipped almost out of the zone. Good job there by Rogers again at the point. Hustling down is Turbyville. She'll send it in as the Huskies get a much-needed line change. In the circle. Good work there by Baldwin for Haley. Haley with a drop pass for Riley. 99 seconds left in the second. Good work there again by Sydney Baldwin. Shot put on, nice save made. And a hit there between the circles. And we're going to have a penalty on the Gophers.
Yeah, nice drive there by Tilke to, go in and get that shot. And she drew a penalty, much like we talked about before. You take one for the team, you drive that net. Sometimes it'll come up for you. So St. Cloud getting a chance here on the power play.
So the Gophers on the penalty kill. Steckline with a very nice play. Sending it over for Brandt. And into the St. Cloud zone. Only 3 penalties so far. A very clean game. Great job behind the net by Potomac on the penalty kill. Nice job there from Slattery to Anderson as they get it into the Gopher end, but just briefly. So now the Huskies have to regroup. Taking it in is Tilke. Tilke in the circle. Back to the point for Slattery. Mackrick. Good cross-ice pass, but Erickson couldn't hang on to it. So tried to steer it to a teammate, but that didn't quite work. Kept in by the Huskies and sent all the way back out. Nicely by Lee Steckline.
Yeah, nice clear there by Lee. Like you said, they had a nice pass cross ice, but the Gophers were in a good spot where they couldn't quite get that pass tape to tape because they were cutting off that good angle.
Of course, Lee Steckline's played extensively with the U.S. national team, played in the Olympics in Sochi. One of the captains on this year's team, but is really impressive and highly unusual. She was a captain last year as a sophomore.
Yeah, she, is one of those great leaders. She's not the most vocal person in the world, but when she needs to be vocal, she will be. And just a solid player on the ice. You usually won't see her make these unbelievable, escape turns or moves, but she's one of those that's just consistent back there on D. She's good offensively as well, and she just very rarely has a bad game. She always plays great, and so she's a really good player for the Gophers to have as a leader and just back there on that blue line.
3 goals in the second period by the Gophers. The first two 29 seconds apart. And Cameron Easy with her 19th on the season to make it 6-0 Gophers. Then tomorrow at Ritter Arena, the Minnesota Whitecaps will be taking on the Boston Pride of the National Women's Hockey League. That's a 1 o'clock start. And will be shown locally on KSTC Channel 45. To try and catch as much of that game as possible. As again, part of the women's hockey weekend, Roseville takes on Cretin here at Roseville Arena at 3 o'clock in suburban East Hockey. We'll send it to Dale Irving as he will have associate head coach Joel Johnson.
All right, we're down here with Joel Johnson, associate head coach for the Gophers. And Joel, 8 periods, no goals against St. Cloud this season, so I got to imagine you like what you see defensively.
Yeah, our kids are playing well, and it starts with the goaltending, and Amanda's playing great. Her initial position is great. St. Cloud's had some good chances against us where they've gotten some pucks through, but, Amanda's been really solid in her initial position, and so it's allowed us to clean up the rebounds, and so I credit our D and our back checkers for that. So far, so good.
How about offensively? Obviously, we put 6 on the board after 2. Do you like what you see so far?
Yeah, our team is built on speed, and so we've been able to get around their D a few times, Dale, and it's been great. We've been fortunate. We've gotten some second chance. Their goalie's playing well. We've been able to get some second, third chance rebounds, and all of a sudden, you put some pressure and pucks go on the net.
How about this Hall of Fame game, the night, bringing it kind of back into the community? how is it for the coaches and the players to come in and play this?
You know, I told our kids before the game, I said, be grateful for what you have, and they are. I know both teams, St. Cloud and Minnesota, grateful for the opportunity to play college hockey, but this gives them a chance to go back to where they started, you know, in the high school games and the kids in the crowd, and it's just a great thing, you know, and you know, St. Cloud's playing great, we're playing great. It's just a fun opportunity for our players to come back, kind of give back to the community, but more importantly, remember where they started from. That's what's awesome.
Right. Joel, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way. All right, we're through 2 here from the Roseville Skating Center. The Gophers are up 6-0. We'll have much more of our intermission report and the third period all coming up next. Stay with us. You're watching CTV and QCTV Sports.
I mean, we are the Gophers. Everyone's trying to beat us, and that's how it is. And that's the good part with being a Gopher. You know that you're playing for a good school, a school with tradition.
It's a championship for Minnesota! Back for the Minnesota Golden Gophers!
And the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers have won the inaugural North Star College Cup.
Rebound! Oh, just score! Score! Gophers are Big Ten champions!
Welcome back to the intermission report here from the Roseville Skating Center. Again, after 2, it's the Gophers over St. Cloud 6-0. I'm pleased to be joined now by Buzz Schneider, of course, 1980 Miracle on Ice team member. But first of all, we're going to talk about your involvement with the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. Of course, that's why we're all here. It's the Hockey Hall of Fame night. Your board of directors, tell us about your involvement and what you're doing with them.
I've been on the Hall of Fame, Hockey Hall of Fame museum board for the last 4 years. I've been involved with Doug Polizari, the executive director, Cal Casalter, the president, and being up from the range up there, it's always kind of fun to be involved and go back and get involved with those guys with hockey.
Right. So what are some of the things that you get to do as part of being on the board of directors? You get to travel around to some games, like tonight. You're going to be presenting the cup, I understand?
Yeah, later on in the game. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. We were up in North Dakota for the men's game up there with University of North Dakota, played Air Force Academy. This is my second time with the women's team, and it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, that's good. Of course, a night like tonight means so much. I mean, you grew up playing hockey outdoors and in the small communities, so to be able to bring these games back to the small community rinks really means a lot, and I think the people appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's where it all starts, youth hockey, and it's wonderful that the girls here at this caliber can come back and play in front of their youth hockey kids, and I see a lot of kids from different areas around here, and a lot of these kids, I suppose, can't afford to go see a WCHA game and they don't have the tickets, and so it's a wonderful opportunity for the young kids.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, of course, Miracle on Ice, it's been 35 years, which, first of all, it's hard to believe it's been that long, but does it ever get old talking about it?
Not really. We still get together. We do about 3 or 4 signings a year, and now we have a fantasy camp that we put on every year out in Lake Placid, and it's good to get together with the guys and a lot of old stories, and we're still best of friends.
Yeah, of course, many of them came from Minnesota, so I assume do many of them still reside in the area?
Quite a few of them do, yeah, and it's still good to see each other. Nothing's changed. Everything's still the same. We just got a little bit older.
Yeah. You know, what happened back there 35 years ago, beating the Russian, winning the gold medal, it doesn't really seem like that event we'll never see it again, I don't think, because of the way hockey has changed and the amateur status, and you know, an upset story like that, you know, it may just go down as probably the best American sports story there's going to be, and with the pros playing in the Olympics, we're just never going to see it again.
I don't think so. Like you said, with the pros playing, everything has changed and stuff, but it's a wonderful thing to be a part of, and you know, we were out there just playing hockey. We never realized it'd have this many legs for this many years. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great ride.
Right. Of course, a recent documentary that came out, the Red Army documentary, telling kind of their side. And I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but did you think that would have that kind of an impact on their side after losing that game, how hard they took it and how hard probably the whole country took it?
But I'm glad we won. I don't have to worry about dealing with their side. But it was fun. It really was.
Yeah. I suppose most memorable moment you take away is your goal against the Russian in the Russian game?
Not only that, but being around the guys. I got 19 great friends. I think our camaraderie is still the same, and we had a great bunch of guys and a great bunch of hockey players as well.
Right. Of course, we've seen a couple of movies that came out. Obviously, the Disney movie most recently, and you had the pleasure of your son playing yourself, which is, I don't know if that was the first time that ever happened, but that must have been a lot of fun for both of you.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I always tell the story when they asked him, "What's it like playing your father?" They said, "Hey, playing my dad, it's an easy stretch, but when they put the wedding ring on and supposed to be married to my mother, that's when it got kind of weird."
Oh yes. Of course, one of the famous scenes was the skating scene, and I know there's a point where I think in the movie that they have you in there skating, but you really weren't there because you were kicked out of the game.
Fortunately, I was kicked out of the game, but that really did happen. It lasted about 45, 50 minutes, and I was kicked out, and I was on my street clothes, and I asked Craig Patrick, the assistant coach, should I put my stuff back on? He said, "Nah, Buzz will be done in 5 minutes." About 40 minutes later, they're still out there skating.
Wow. Of course, you were drafted by the Penguins back in '74, but it was also fun. I saw that you were a draft pick of the Fighting Saints. Was that ever an opportunity or chance to go play with the Fighting Saints?
Glenn Somner was a coach. We got along pretty good, but when they drafted me, I was still in college. I was a sophomore, but I played in my junior year at the University of Minnesota. Then after that, I went to play on the '76 Olympic team.
Okay. Finally, Herb Brooks. Tell me what kind of a coach he was.
I thought he was the best coach I've ever played for. He was a master of X's and O's, and of all the years I played for him, I've never seen him get out coached or made a bad coaching call. He's an unbelievable guy.
Yep, one of a kind.
Oh, certainly.
Well, Buzz, thanks for stopping in. Good luck the rest of the way with the Hockey Hall of Fame, and hopefully next year we can do this all over again.
Thank you very much, Dale. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with more of the intermission report. We'll have Winnie Brown with us, as well as Bethany Browson, a couple of former Roseville and former Gophers. Once again, we're after 2. It's the Gophers 6, St. Cloud 0. Stay with us.
It's time for another Land O'Lakes great moment in Gopher history. It was January 31st, 1928, when the Gopher men's basketball team moved into Williams Arena, affectionately called the Barn. Construction on the building was started in 1927 and completed in 1928, when it was originally dedicated as the University of Minnesota Fieldhouse. The facility cost just $650,000 to build. Although the building has undergone a number of facelifts during its 87-year history, Williams Arena is still one of the few remaining arenas to have a raised floor, which only adds to the historical aura and atmosphere of the building. The opening of Williams Arena is today's Land O'Lakes great moment in Gopher history.
All right, welcome back to the intermission report. Now joining us, a couple of ex-Gophers, Winnie Brown, Bethany Browson. Thanks for being with us. Okay, I'm gonna read off your bio a little bit. Now, Winnie, of course, played from 1998 to 2003. Was a part of 2 national titles, not both with the Gophers, if I'm correct. You were the first to win Miss Hockey back in 1996. Won a high school title. Of course, Bethany also won Miss Hockey. Also won a state title. And also won 2 national titles. So you have that in common.
We match in that way, yes.
So that's good. What do you think of the game so far? Obviously 6-0, Gophers playing pretty well.
Yeah, I know I just talked with Coach Frost, and he's pretty happy with how the girls are playing on the Gophers side. And they tend to be a team that scores in spurts too, so you gotta be really careful, I think, if you're St. Cloud, to not give them those opportunities and put them on the power play like they did. Otherwise, they're a very tough team to beat.
Of course, defensively, no goals. Levier looking pretty good in the net. As a former defender, what do you see from that side?
Being a former defender, and with that defensive lineup that the Gophers have, I mean, it's probably the best in the country all around. And with their size, not only are they big D, but they can skate, they can move the puck, they make great decisions. They don't come better than those guys.
Of course, it's been a fun night so far. The Hockey Hall of Fame, you guys got to go out as part of the puck drop ceremony. What does it mean to come back to kind of host this? You're kind of ambassadors of hockey, but certainly ambassadors of hockey in Roseville. How much fun has this been for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's been a wonderful thing, and I know when we were kids, we'd always go to games and watch, I had to watch the guys play and be like, oh, that's awesome. And for these little girls that are at the rink tonight, this is something that they'll remember forever, whether it was the Gophers, St. Cloud girls. They don't even really care what jersey the girls are playing or wearing. They're just like, oh, this is sweet. Maybe I want to do that. And And that's the environment and the culture that you want to create in the young girls of today, because you want to show them the role models. And not only are these girls on the ice, I know a lot of them great on the ice, but they're great people in general. And if you want your kid to grow up to be like someone, it's a bunch of these girls on the ice.
Right. So what is it about Roseville? I mean, I think everybody wants to know why is this such a hockey hotbed, specifically for girls and women?
Yeah, I think, we started it probably because we were playing, myself and my older sister and my younger sister, we were playing with the boys along with the Curtains, and my parents and the Curtains put us into hockey because they wanted us to have a place to play, and it was only with the boys. And I think we just kind of got ahead of the game a little bit because when the girls game came in, we could hop into the girls game. And I think a lot of us growing up, and I can say with Bethany too, is that there was a lot of history, and the girls wanted to probably look up to the girls ahead of them, and there was a lot of pride. And also, if you look at the oval outside, and a lot of people don't get to see this venue, which I wanted a lot of people to see, is that it's all outside, and it's all the individual time that kids put into it, like playing pickup hockey, playing on the pond, playing on the rinks that your parents built, and stuff like that. That's where it happens. It's all the stuff that is
we
fun.
have seen a dramatic change where you just don't see kids outside skating as much as you used to. But some of the numbers now from Roseville, we have 4 Miss Hockey Award winners from Roseville High School. 9 girls was my count. I'm hoping that's accurate. That went on to the U. We were counting Renee Curtin, even though she wasn't able to play. And I'm not sure if this is true, but there's been 19 seasons of Gopher women's hockey, and there's only been 4 years without a Roseville player. Is that right?
Yep.
Wow,
And that's incredible. So
And I'm pretty sure every national championship has had a Roseville kid on it.
I think it has, yeah.
So now, you guys have some events going on as part of the whole weekend and this whole Hockey Hall of Fame. Tell us about what's going on.
Yeah. So like Winnie kind of touched on already, we really wanted to do an event that could kind of give back to the girls that are kind of up and coming. And we really wanted to do something exciting for them and different. And we played in the pond hockey tournament actually last year for the women's side. And we thought, what a better way to kind of get more girls involved and get them excited about the winter season than do a pond hockey tournament. And like she said, this venue seemed perfect. We have the oval. So tomorrow we'll have 6 rinks going simultaneously. So 12 pond hockey teams going at once, and we'll go 9 to 5. And I think we got like 50 teams or something like that that'll be competing throughout the day. So big event.
Very fun.
Yes.
Nice. You guys still stay in the hockey. Now I understand you're also assistant coach. We talked with Rhonda earlier.
Yep.
You're helping her out at
Yep.
Breck. How's that going?
It's amazing. I think and Winnie's touched on this, an article came out that actually she did. But it's so important for women and girls to stay in the game. And I think that coaching is such a best, it's just the best possible way to do that. And I found that myself. It's a nice way to transition out of sport and still be able to give back. And I think that with more girls involved and women that come back to the game, the better and better women's hockey will become, which is really the ultimate goal.
Nice. Well, it's been a fun night so far, Bethany. Winnie, thanks for being with us today and sharing it. All right, we're ready for their third period action. We're going to throw it up to Jerry.
Thanks a lot, Dale. 6-0 Gophers after 2. But a big score in other women's WCHA hockey. Again, this one counts as an exhibition, but one that doesn't. The North Dakota Hawks currently leading Wisconsin 2-0 in the second period.
Yeah, that's, obviously, like you said, big score going on. They started, a little bit later than this, so they'll still be playing when this game's over, but definitely a game to go check in on once this one's over. And, North Dakota has that upper hand right now of ending that undefeated streak for Wisconsin.
So we take a look here at the second period recap. That was that really nice move by Rowley to get in between the 2 defenders and draw the power play. McMillan from Brandt. And there was the really nice play by Rogers to make it 5-0. And then here quickly, 6-0. Gophers out shooting the Huskies 26-10 so far through 2 periods. Lead pass there for Slattery. She'll take it into the Gopher zone. Now back behind the net. Nice work there by the Gophers. So a good friend of mine on hand here tonight, Mike Feld, the longtime photographer for Let's Play Hockey. Back there for St. Cloud is Anderson. Brittany Anderson there in front of Fitzgerald as the power play has expired.
St. Cloud, unfortunately, wasn't able to get anything going there on that 30-second power play they had to start this period.
In the neutral zone, Slattery sends it behind the net. Levier gets a piece of it. Now St. Cloud in the corner, sending it back out. Good job there for Illikainen. Illikainen, that's broken up by the Gophers. Very nice job there by Cameron Easy. She tries to center it. Good defensive work there by Slattery and Illikainen. Now in the near circle, Moody will take it out. Levier stops it behind the net. Pass over on the far side for Gunderson and sent right back in by the Huskies. There is Sydney Baldwin. Now coming out with it is Klein. Good job there by Redford to send it out and into the Gopher end. Some of her teammates making a line change. As with there is Baldwin again. Good work on the far boards by Garzone to send it out. And right back in again by St. Cloud. This gets by one of the St. Cloud defenders, but coming back for it was Markstrom. And so far in the women's WCHA, Wisconsin 12-0, the Gophers 11-3, and Bemidji 10-5-1. Former 1976 Olympian and Roseville both boys and girls coach Steve Surdich did a very nice job rebuilding the Bemidji State program, and retired a couple of years ago. St. Cloud back in the Gopher zone. What I couldn't believe, Katie, when I was looking at Bemidji State, in the WCHA, they're 10-5-1, but they've only scored 27 goals. They've only given up 28, but still to have a -1 and have that kind of a record, that's highly unusual.
Yeah, that is pretty unusual. And, you know, like you said, they're not a huge goal-scoring team, but they have always been a good defensive team. I remember playing Bemidji, and it was always one of those you always struggled to score, whether we usually came out with the win or not.
Especially up there, I know it's tough.
Yeah, and they pack in front of the net. They block shots. Probably, I would say, the best shot blocking team. There we go. In the WCHA, just from my experience, I don't know what the numbers show, but you know, they will block anything. Wind up on a slap shot from Megan Bozak, and they'll lay down right in front of it, which is impressive.
Brittany Mowat, their regular goalie, 13-5-1 in the season. Save percentage right around 95%, which is amazing. And Anne-Renee Debien of Wisconsin, save percentage just shy of 97%. I've never heard of one that high.
Yeah, I think she's given up 5 goals this whole first half, and you know, they're down 2-0 now, so 7 now.
Right.
But still pretty impressive. I know they went several games without allowing a single goal to be scored in. So yeah, super impressive start to the season for her. I don't remember how many Nora let in my senior year, but you know, it wasn't many more than that. But so it doesn't happen very often, and she's a pretty phenomenal goaltender to have that save percentage.
On December 22nd, Centennial will be playing here at Roseville, and Centennial has one of the better players in the country. She's only a sophomore, Gabrielle Hughes. She took a visit to Wisconsin last weekend, and I certainly think every Division I team is going to be interested in her. She's a whale of a player.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, and I wouldn't be surprised if she commits here soon. Kids are committing here pretty early. Sophomore year isn't too unheard of, so I'm sure she'll be one of the next or one of the first in her class to commit.
Alyssa Erickson into the Gopher zone, and a shot put on there by Illikainen hits traffic and will go out of play. How many of your former teammates are with you on the Whitecaps?
Oh boy. Probably a good solid handful. Browsen, Lawrence, Cordum, Schlepper comes back.
Sure.
I think Bana, Sarah Erickson, Kelly Sealer. There's quite a few.
Sure.
And then Winnie Brote in addition to that. I didn't play with her, but she obviously played for the U too. So there's a good handful of Gopher girls out there, so it's fun to play with everyone again and start seeing everyone on a regular basis again.
Rob Stauber, one of the best goalies in Gopher history, won the Hobie Baker Award. Bouncing pass. Good job there by Levier to stay with it as she steers that away. 5 minutes gone here in the third. That hops by Hespenhyde. Gophers in the zone, offsides on Minnesota. So just mentioning Rob Stauber won the Hobie Baker back in his days with the Gophers. What's he like as a coach?
He's good. He encourages a lot of creativity. I know he does some stuff with USA Hockey, so he's seen the non-goalie side of things as well. But so we do a lot of different drills that I haven't done before, which is always fun. And it encourages a lot of creativity out of us, which has been fun too.
Sure. And of course, Winnie and Chelsea's father, Jack, helps out with the team as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a joy to have out there too. And Jack's obviously an intense coach, but he's good, and he'll step on the ice sometimes too, and so that's always nice.
Mm-hmm. Good shot put on. Brandt got a piece of that, and it ended up going to the side of Fitzpatrick. Good job there by Fitzgerald, excuse me. In the circle, there's Brandt. St. Cloud off the boards, trying to clear it out of the zone. Good job there by Spataro. Vanessa Spataro into the Gopher zone. Just over 14 minutes left here in regulation. Behind the net, there's Baldwin again. Great work by Baldwin. Now she tries to fight off 2 St. Cloud defenders. Taking it there was Brandt. Good idea to wrap it back behind the net. That was Korzinski. Now Williamson coming out with it. In the neutral zone. Taking it there is Garzone. Back behind the net. Now along the near side, Johnson sending it out. That could have been too many girls on the ice. I don't know if they're going to call that or not.
Looks like it.
That is a call a linesman can make, isn't it?
Not sure. It looks, by the way he's standing over there, and the coach doesn't look too happy, talking to the bench.
Coach Rude is expressing his displeasure, but I saw 6 players on the ice for a good second, so I'm thinking that might be the call here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Too many women on the ice. Somebody who was on the ice will have to serve the penalty. So the Gophers will go on the power play again, as they are 1 for 2 here tonight. Good job by Skorzinski to keep it in at the point. Now back down low for Riley. On the side of the circle there for Williamson. Over there for Rogers.
Looks like a little different power play unit out here than usual for the Gophers. Mixing it up a little bit.
Skorzinski in the circle. Tried a centering attempt. Good job there by the Husky defense. That was Jenna Redford. Riley, now they're at the blue line, played by Skorzinski. Wrist shot by Williamson's deflected. Tried a centering attempt. Good job by Fitzgerald, but the rebound sneaks loose and sneaks in the net, and it's 7-0.
Nice continued pressure by that power play there. Like you said, nice save by Fitzgerald, but again, you can't expect her to make that second and third rebound save, and Gophers were there. They pressured that puck, and they got one in.
We'll get a good look at it here. There's the initial shot put on, bouncing in front, and a nice job as that was Kelsey Klein, her first goal of the season, doing a really nice job with the rebound.
Yeah, really nice job. And did you say first goal of the season for Kelsey?
I believe so.
Wow, she's, plays a lot. She's a great player. I'm a little surprised that that's her first goal, but.
That shot was deflected, and Levier will make the glove save. Klein from Riley at Rogers at 7:27. Of course, the state of Minnesota very well represented on this team. You've got Taylor Williamson, who won last year's Miss Hockey from Edina, Cindy Baldwin from Minnetonka, and Hannah Brandt from Hill Murray. And right now, those are the top 3 teams in the state in AA. You could pretty much rank them however you want, but all 3 have excellent programs, and especially this year.
Yeah, like you said, very well represented Minnesota team, which I think is pretty cool, obviously, with the team being in Minnesota, that, Coach Frost is able to continually keep the top players in the state, here to play. And so it's a lot of fun for everyone to, play with the people they played against. But I just think it's great for the state of hockey as well.
Mm-hmm. We saw Minnetonka a few weeks ago. They beat Roseville 5-0. 2 Division I players for certain on that team. Good chance they're in front by Riley, as Fitzgerald doing a nice job with another big save. I think it's Kippen Keller. She's going to be going to the Gophers next year. And Presley Norby was extremely impressive. Unfortunately, she's going to Wisconsin.
Yeah, good for her. Unfortunate for the Gophers, but,
right.
But I'm sure she'll have a great career there.
Into the corner. Good work there by Gunderson. D-to-D behind the net as that goes to Redford. Top of the circle. That's flipped out by Salins. Very nice drop pass. Wrist shot goes high and over the crossbar. I think that was Erickson. As now Baldwin coming out with it again for the Gophers. Over for Cameronese. Cameronese's centering pass goes just by Gunderson. Brand controlling in the corner. Wrist shot goes just wide. Trying to make a nice play in the rebound was Cameronese again, looking for her 20th on the season. D-to-D to Skarzinski. Now over the blue line. Baldwin. Cameronese to Gunderson. Gunderson into the St. Cloud zone. Good defensive work there again by Slattery. Nice centering pass, broken up by the St. Cloud defense. There is Klein, who scored the most recent goal here tonight. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third for the Gophers. And the last time St. Cloud beat the Gophers was in February 2010. The Gophers have won 27 in a row against St. Cloud.
February 2010, I remember that game. Wasn't a great one.
No, I suppose
wasn't a great one for the Gophers, but
and actually, they had a tie that weekend also.
I believe we did. I believe that was the season we needed to win like one of our last 8 to clinch the conference, and we won the last one of those 8 against Wisconsin to then split it with Duluth. So had a bit of a slump there.
Sure.
But it happens. Every
Right.
team has those, so. I don't know if it was quite 8, but it was a handful. That we needed to win one of them.
Let's go through everybody. Good job there by Barlow to control it for the Gophers. Stick line to Barlow and back again. Stick line in the circle. Good little lead pass there for Rogers. Goes just a shade too far. Now St. Cloud back the other way. Now here for Minnesota is Gunderson again. That lead pass will go too far. We'll have icing on Minnesota. Katie, you had a lot of excellent teammates in your days with the Gophers. One that must have been fun to play with is Nora Ratu. Of course, she was phenomenal with Minnesota. Here's our fan of the game. Hopefully it's warm enough. It's a little chilly in here. But I was just remembering in the Olympics in Sochi, the way she played against the U.S. team was really remarkable.
Yeah, the way she played against a lot of teams all the time was pretty remarkable. But yeah, you know, solid performance for her in that game, and she's just an outstanding goaltender. She'll make the saves no one would anticipate anyone making, and you know, she's over there playing in the men's professional league in Finland, so continuing her career, and it's pretty remarkable.
Coming down for St. Cloud is Jordan Stewart. Stewart, a freshman on this year's team. Now here's Anna Barlow into the zone, wrist shot. Good stick save there by Fitzgerald as that went through a screen. Now behind the net, good work there by the Gophers. That was Shipper. Katie Shipper has 2 goals here tonight against 6 different goal scorers for the Gophers. That's something that's a little more unusual for the Gophers, considering how strong the first line is. Again, the top 3 scorers in the WCHA.
Yeah, but you know, Shipper's a good player. She works hard all the time, and she often gets rewarded for it.
That'll be flipped out of the zone by St. Cloud, and icing is waved off as that one just keeps on trickling over the goal line. Lead pass there for Klein, connects. Now in the neutral zone, trying to control it there for Minnesota with Shipper again. Long cross-ice pass for Piazza. 6:23 left to go here in the third. Possible 2-on-1. Slattery, that shot goes just wide of the net by Spataro. Very good chance for the Huskies to get on the board.
Yeah, continued pressure here by St. Cloud, which is nice to see. Obviously, they're down by 7, but you know, it says a lot about their team and the character and their coach as well for this team to continue pushing and continue getting those scoring opportunities.
And on the near boards, the Gophers keep it in. Good job there by Gunderson and Riley. I'm calling their names a lot tonight. As that hops out of play. One thing I was wondering, Katie, and I've asked a lot of different people about this. Of course, there's an extensive junior system in men's hockey. Do you think we'll ever see a junior system for girls hockey?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I think right now the numbers aren't there.
Right.
And I think it's kind of hard, too, without, you know, now we have that professional league out east, but obviously not as well paying as the NHL. So I think it would be hard to currently justify, you know, putting off your college education for 2 years when, you know, you can't see a future like the NHL. But, you know, maybe sometime. But I don't think it'll be anything in the next couple years, especially with the U19 teams where girls have the opportunity to play a year of post-grad.
Oh, sure.
If they're not, you know, if they're not committed by the time they graduate. So there's kind of that middle ground where, you know, you can play for, you know, Revolution or some of those similar teams for that post-grad year, which is nice.
I do really think the Women's Pro League is starting off on the right foot. They're starting small, and it certainly seems like they've got a really good setup to be successful in the long term.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a smart move, like you said, to start small with the 4 teams so they're able to, you know, have that funding and pay the players and really be competitive within that league, and then hopefully expand, you know, even slowly would be nice to see. But I agree. I think the system they have going is great, and it'll be good to, I know we are speaking with, I think the commissioner, Danny, I believe her name is, this weekend. So it'll be nice to hear how it's going from her end, from her side of things.
Nice job by Potomac to keep it in the St. Cloud zone. Ilikainen sends it back out for the Huskies. Hustling down for St. Cloud is Alyssa Erickson. Now Potomac. Good job there in defense by Krista Moody. Ilikainen into the Gopher zone. Tilke. Nice play by Steckline to break up a possible St. Cloud threat. Brandt, centering pass, went off of Ilikainen. Back in by Erickson. Here's Tilke. Shot put on, waffle save by Levier. Under 4 minutes left to go. Sent out to Brandt. Hannah Brandt with a nice lead pass for Danny Cameronese. St. Cloud coming out with it. Good play there by Hespenheim. And into the Gopher zone. So we'll wrap around to the far boards. Now at the blue line. Good turnaround play there by Paige Pena. Quickly back out for Rogers. Couldn't get much on that send-in attempt. That goes off the back wall, and Levier with a heads-up play to cover up there at the side of the net.
Yeah, like you said, good heads-up play by Levier. You know, I think it'd be easy at times in a game, you know, with a lopsided score to kind of zone out a little bit. But those are the times if she's not, you know, paying attention that they could squeeze one in.
Of course, the Minnesota Whitecaps have been around for quite some time. Have they played against any of the other pro teams this year?
Yeah, they took a trip out east. I wasn't able to go with school, but yeah, I took a trip out east and played one of the New York teams and the Connecticut team, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, they have played a couple. I think they went 1-1 when they were out there. So
nice.
So yeah, it'll be nice to have Boston come in. I think, like I said earlier, Boston will be very good, but it'll be nice to have them come in and have that competition again and see where we really stack up.
Well, I noticed the very first game of the season for the Gophers was against the Whitecaps, and that must have been a whale of a game. The Gophers squeaking out a 5-4 victory.
Yeah, yeah, it was, you know, a good game. It was definitely a different feeling being on the other end of the ice.
Sure.
But yeah, it was a good game. You know, like you said, first game for them, and obviously first game for us as well. But it was good. It was fun.
So the Gophers will go to 16-3 on the season. St. Cloud will go to 8-9-2. But again, the Huskies equaling their win total already of 2014-2015. Their zone into the zone. Shot put on. Nice job by Fitzgerald. And she will hang on. While we get the chance, I'd like to really thank Dale Irving and the entire CTV crew. I can't name them all right now, but you'll see them in the ending graphics. Also like to thank Taylor Johnson and Quad Cities TV for helping us out tonight to put together a very extensive broadcast. And we'll take another look here as Fitzgerald, really good positioning. Just sliding over and making the save. 90 seconds left. Nice job at the blue line by Wolf to keep it in. Here comes a delayed 2-on-1. Nice job by the Gophers to back check and break that up. Then presenting the trophy after the game will be 1980 Olympian Buzz Schneider. Two of Buzz's sons played here locally at Mounds View in Roseville. Neil was on Roseville's state tournament team back in 2002. Good job by the Gophers coming out. That is Paige Haley. 2-on-1. Nice pass to Rogers, but that was broken up at the last minute there by Erickson. Riley coming in. Nice give and go. And a good job coming back by Tilke to steal that one away. 35 seconds remaining. Tilke in the Gopher zone. Nice work there by Steckline. Steckline, nice lead pass for Rogers. Then Riley. Giving chase for the Huskies is Markstrom. So wrap around behind the net.
Nice effort there by Caitlin Riley on the forecheck, and that's something I've really noticed about her this year. One, she came in as a transfer and made an impact right away, and she is always going 100% on the ice, and it's really nice to see.
One last save by Fitzgerald. And that'll do it as the Gophers stay undefeated against St. Cloud this year, winning 7-0, and still have yet to give up a goal in those 3 games. Just a really impressive performance by the Gophers. It's tough to keep track of the same time of possession, but that's certainly one of the Gophers' strengths, just being able to control the puck as well as they did pretty much throughout the whole game.
Yeah, I agree. And, one thing I really noticed was St. Cloud, sometimes they'd get the puck out of the zone and then they'd get it and, toss the puck or whatever because the Gophers would be pressuring so hard right away, and the Gophers would get it back and go right back in the zone. And, again, just that possession with the puck and being able to regroup right away and keep that possession once they get it is huge.
Player of the game is going to be Kate Schipper, no surprise, as she scored the 2 of the early goals here tonight for the Gophers, 2 of the first 3. And that backhand is just a beautiful play to get it around Fitzgerald.
Really nice drive to the net on that.
Now the Gophers will take a break for winter finals and the holidays. They'll be playing the Whitecaps again in early January. What do you look for the rest of the season here for this Gopher squad?
I think they'll continue to keep getting better, and I think usually Coach Frost tries to peak at the end of the season, at the middle of the season, like most coaches. But so they'll take some time off and then come back refreshed and ready to go. And Coach Frost does a really good job as well of giving the girls the appropriate time off second semester when their legs are getting tired, their bodies are getting tired. So I think they'll come back with a lot of energy and keep going and getting better, and hopefully beat Wisconsin next time.
And of course that series against Wisconsin near the end of the regular season, I think that's in February. That one might end up deciding the conference title. I'm sure it has in the past.
Yeah, I believe it's the last weekend. So talk about, climatic finish to the end of the regular season. But, like you said, it could very well be the deciding for the title of the WCHA, which is great. That's what everyone wants. And, you want that big game at the end, and the question mark as far as who's going to win versus a team, clinching it in mid-January,
Right.
It's always more fun when it's a tight race.
Very nice picture there with the captains, Hannah Brandt and Lee Stecklein, along with Doug Johnson, owner and publisher of Let's Play Hockey, and Buzz Schneider of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. Also on that team was Mark Johnson, the current head coach of the Lady Badgers. Of course, he's done a remarkable job there.
Yeah, he has. He, has created such a great culture and a great team, consistent from year to year, and which is great to see. And yeah, he's a great guy, great coach. And
well, the Gophers win 7-0. Again, 3 goals each in the first 2 periods, and wrapping it up was Kelsey Klein with her first goal of the season.
Not really. I think, St. Cloud continued to push hard through the whole game, which can get, really hard when you're down 7-0. But, I've said it before, it shows a lot about what their coach has put into that team and that culture they have and that pride they have for their school and that jersey they're wearing, which is great, and it'll really pay off in the long run as they continue to get better. And, for the Gophers, they go into the break now off a win versus a sweep, an uncharacteristic sweep against Wisconsin, so that's good. And I think, like I said, they'll take some time off and come back refreshed and ending on a positive note, which is always better than that sweep.
Okay, thank you very much for doing such a great job tonight, and continued success with the Whitecaps and then psychology. Looks like you've got a very promising future ahead of you.
I hope so.
Again, my sincere thanks to Taylor Johnson, Dale Irving, and everybody else. You'll see them in the credits coming up. Everybody doing just a phenomenal job today with Quad Cities Television and especially all of CTV Roseville. For Katie Frischman, this is Jerry Otto signing off here from the Roseville Skating Center as the Gophers win the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Classic 7-0 over the St. Cloud Huskies.